following story will likely not end happily. The following acts you will witness are those of desperate people in desperate times. But oh, how the desperate do dream. Welcome to the dark future.
Alright crew, visual on the target now. Getting clearance from base. Get ready. This is MT-5916 to base. Engaging hostiles. Base, be advised, there are a lot of civvies down there. Get PR ready. This is base to MT-5916. You have permission to engage. We'll handle the fallout. Just recover our gear. They took some expensive shit from us. We want them to pay. MT-5916, copy. Enjoy the fireworks base. Over and out. Base copies. All units be advised. Police are en route. Check your fire. Wouldn't do to get the boys and girls in blue turning against us when we're the victims here. Happy hunting, team. Base out.
All officers report some shots fired at Club Synapse in the Glen. All local units report immediately. Intel says there are a lot of people on the ground for a market. Caution advised, suspects and locals may be armed. Additional caution, known criminal Rex Royale is on site. Bonus for anyone able to turn him in along with his crew. Stay safe out there, everyone.
All right, welcome everybody. It is me, Emmerron. My tech has been scuffed as hell tonight. So welcome everybody to Neon Inferno episode 19. It is good to have you with us. If you are here live on Twitch, I remind you all, there are channel points. They can be used for things, naming NPCs, dropping items, dropping loot boxes. We have the works there. This week is fun. This week is exciting because this week is, I think, the first week we've ever had where there is no downtime, zero downtime between this week's mission and last. So for those of you who have a short memory or were not with us last week, I remind all of you where we start our night. So we, of course, have the crew in Club Synapse meeting with Rex, talking about how they're about to use a nuke that they have found on a Militech convoy. When it just so happens that Militech has been, listening in, at least enough to know where they are, at least enough to know that they're gonna kick down a door now. So a tsunami helix opens fire, and the glass separating the outside of the building from the inside of the VIP room has shattered, the crew scrambling for cover. And that is where we begin tonight.
Your Honor, my clients plead oopsie daisy.
So let me go ahead and get our main monitor up with the crew. Let's move over to them. All right. So yet again, I am blessed and graced with the full cast. No replacements or substitutes this time. We've got Persephone, Erica as Persephone, excuse me. We have Cody as Dr. J. we have Ghost of the Valley as Way, Ghost Squad 9 as our good friend Zeke, and finally we have Maya as Electo. So welcome everybody. Are we all ready to get shot at in the first scene of the night?
I sort of sorry for Militech right now. They don't realize we all just bought shuriken grenades.
I need to file a formal complaint. You said your tech is scuffed. I'm actually not scuffed. I showered today and my hair is really pretty. My girlfriend did it.
Hell yeah, Maya. I'm glad you're not scuffed. I'm talking about my computer. My computer is scuffed. So yeah, let's go ahead and turn this chill vibe shit off. It's time for something exciting. Let's get.
I was about to say, are we gonna have a battle map on like basically get turn 1 stun locked?
Yeah, we're gonna go over the battle grid.
I see.
It's time, but the battle grid is relatively simple, so this should only take about 5 seconds for everyone to load in. So
1, 2.
There you go.
Ah, damn it.
You were hoping to have a moment.
She's
It really was.
I need this moment. Also,
you give me a specific time and I have autism.
My gaming ID. Welcome. Welcome. All right, everyone. So let's define some things here real quick. So I am going to draw some tiles on the grid here. And audience, I know you can't see this yet, but I'm going to draw some tiles real quick just so that way we have a clear understanding of our boundaries. So let me...
We must materialize within the bounds of reality.
Exactly. So
I'm not good at respecting boundaries or even understanding what those are. You can ask every ex I've ever had.
Jesus Christ.
Oh.
We're off to a start.
We got a feather trigger tonight, huh?
I think it was something to do with the fact that I decided I chose violence. Something about that apparently sets people off.
We haven't had an episode like this yet, so it's fine.
Yeah, to be fair, we chose violence first.
It's also true.
If you could Frankie, I'm really sorry. My dishwasher broke last week and I had to pay $700 to have that replaced, and then my door broke today, like 4 days before I'm supposed to go to Iceland. So I'm like, I hate everything right now.
Yeah, that's not great. All right, I think I found the tile I want here, because I'm just going to use generic crate tiles, because these are nice and malleable. All right, so we got...
Not malleable, the fucking elevator.
Yeah.
Bye, folks. I'm going down. See ya.
Oh, this does not bode well.
Yeah, just in case there was an unclearness about how relatively small this room was.
I always anticipated it to be small, but
yeah, we're just chilling in like a meeting room, if I remember right.
Pretty much back room VIP lounge. So
you're telling me my one true love is going to be perfect?
I mean, there is an AV outside of this window. So let me just drop us all in.
But I miss.
So we got all of you.
I knew I should have bought more EMP grenades. No such thing as too many EMP grenades. Remember that, everybody.
And then we've got, of course, Rex Royale himself, who is in the room with you. On the outside here. So let me, at this point, I feel comfortable showing this to everyone else. So let me...
God has given me permission to exist, and now I will give him a headache for doing so.
The statement is made.
God decided to let me live another day, and I'm about to make it your problem.
God gave me permission to exist and enough free will to make him regret it.
Welcome to my Cyberpunk Red game. Anyone?
He made me.
It's like, welcome everyone who is not... If this is your first week of Neon Inferno, you're in for a good one, guys.
I mean, that statement alone just sums up the entirety of this entire campaign so far.
I mean, you're not wrong, yeah. So I am going to just use one of these generic helicopter tiles, because that seems a fair, accurate thing. Yeah.
Oh.
That's a helicopter?
That is a helicopter. it will stand in.
I thought that was a scooter of some sort.
That, in what world is that a helicopter?
What do you mean in what world? It's a propeller up here. It's a tail fin. That's a windshield. That's a skids.
Oh, it looks different on my end. Let me send it to you.
What kind of weird
just love that
helicopter is that?
Maya's like, wait, excuse me? What kind of helicopter?
This is what it looks like for me.
I was like, hold up. Let me see what is. Oh, I understand now.
You're gonna get some mod error.
What do you mean that's a helicopter?
That, my friend, is a caution sign. So let me.
He's mod error
like,
sign.
you
Mod error sign is
like
like that
me
is
right
not
now.
a
Allow me.
helicopter.
This is what Maya is seeing, guys. So everyone in chat can appreciate what the scuff Maya is seeing. I told you my tech is not behaving tonight.
Maya did not subscribe to the right workshop item.
I guess, yeah.
Download that mod pack for Counter-Strike really quick.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's where
Quick,
we're
run it on Nexus mods.
Well, it's giving me caution, because caution, this thing's gonna shoot you, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. Let me.
So-
Yeah.
Really apologize, but my brain's not going to be able to continue it unless I make this really obscure reference that maybe 2 people on the planet will get. I am a helicopter pilot. Helicopters go up and down, and also sometimes side to side. This stick makes it move. I am a helicopter pilot. Okay, my brain's better now. Sorry.
No, you're good. All right. So here we
Oh.
have
That's a lot of lads.
that is the dudes that are riding on this thing.
Charlie, my K-Tech Tech Hammer rockets is coded to use shotgun slugs.
Is it now?
Yes, I'm trying to reload it, and it's saying reload with shotgun.
Hold up. Let me fix that. It shouldn't be, because I definitely rocket launcher, heavy weapons. Ah, yes, I see. Why is the compatible ammo not configured for rockets? I definitely changed this. I remember
It's
changing
just more
this.
scuff.
Yeah, more scuff. Welcome, everyone. Neon Inferno, episode 19, Scuff Edition. Welcome. If you're here live on Twitch, you're getting the authentic scuffed experience. All right. So, with that said, let's get some initiative rolls going. So the first thing that happens here, as you're all huddled around here talking about your nuke, this man over here is gonna get the first shot into the building with a. I need to give him a tsunami arms helix.
That is how ambushes tend to work.
Oh, I don't have any rockets. I didn't get a chance to buy those.
She's got rockets for you though.
Don't worry, we have the rocket launcher on our side.
We gotta shoot rockets at this fucking thing.
Don't worry, I've got us covered.
We failed to turn it back. Now it's time to turn it to ash.
All right, so
Oh, initiative. I am sorry.
no, you're totally fine because I've got to resolve this first. So this dude here is gonna be blasting Rex with the helix.
Oh
So
no.
this is auto fire, and so the auto fire from here to Rex is 30 meters. So we're looking at DV auto.
Okay, Z. Nice roll, Z.
Huh? What?
Nice initiative roll there. I said.
Yep. I've spent all of my luck from the last session's initiative.
Yeah, okay. So
Zika's
we're
now
looking
back
at a
to being a
DV
slow boy. He's a little tired.
DV20 for this. Okay. All right. Well, that tsunami arms helix is gonna hit. It's gonna hit Rex for 3, multiplier of 3. So that's
Oh no.
fun. Oh my!
That shit hurted. That shit hurted just a little bit.
I've heard of how to lose a guy in 10 days, but not how to lose your fixer in one shot.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
no, that's where we're starting the night. Okay, guys. So yeah, Rex immediately just gets pelted by a slew of auto fire rounds out of the helix on board this AV. Now we may roll in officially for initiative as far as that is concerned. So let me Yeah, and let me get all these guys on board with the program.
Oh, Charlie, the my initiative roll was with time warp. If you want me taking that to be my first turn, that's fine. But I figured I'd be like, oh my god, there's AVs. Drugs.
You
Drugs.
actually did have enough reaction time because you were one of 2 people at the end of the last session who heard
That's
AV
right.
coming.
My ears work good.
So because of that, I will be more than happy to give you time warp as a freebie here.
I should have asked before I rolled it, but I realized the effect was already on when I rolled initiative. I was like, oh well, I have to consume one anyways.
Oh, there are a lot more people here than we can see.
What do you mean?
Unless it's been a long day.
It's all good. Wei, you actually get the first turn here.
Yo.
I mean, with a roll like that, I'd hope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, how far can you fly when you do your flying kick?
Sadly, with all the movement that I do have, it is only reduced to 4 meters. That's one of the downsides. That's why I want jump feet so bad, because then I could basically take all my move and just fly at things.
Just flying kick into the helicopter. It's like, I'm not stuck in here with you. You're stuck in
so
here with
jacked.
me.
You guys ever
Bro's
see
so jacked he hits the rear rotor and sends it into a death spin.
Yeah.
Pull a
Nice.
David Martinez suplex the AV.
You just see
Seriously.
Wade do the Liu Kang bicycle kick out the window?
Just activate
I mean-
no clip, you'll be fine.
Yeah, no clip.
How far out is it from the thing?
How far is it from the window?
Yeah, like did it pull right up to the window to just start laying fire? Because I don't know how big the
What-
actual.
what
I
you
mean,
see-
is.
what
this
you
gap
see
of
here
3
is
squares is 4 meters.
That's what you accurate. Yeah, this is accurate. So this last 2 tiles
Oh, wait
here
a minute.
denotes the end of the floor and the beginning of open air. So this is just one floor to ceiling window normally that's been shattered by the helix blasting through it.
And jump penalty is half move. Oh
Well,
no, that's
Except
such a
for the
weird
part
ruling though.
where your jumping kick does not count the same. Your jumping kick just says you use all your movement.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Is I could basically, for lack
Flying
of
kick
better
into the
terms,
fucking AV.
yeah,
It's-
basically animation cut and go from my jump, using my jump for move to close the initial gap, and then transferring that into all of the move that I would have left into my kick.
I mean,
But that's like
it just states. Well, so here's my ruling on it, right? It says you just have to move at least what two squares worth of movement, 4 meters, right?
yeah.
So as long as you're able to move at least that and then launch yourself in a straight line at the AV, that's badass. Like, if I'd be dumb not to say that that's okay. but you would need to get there.
And the border of where I would be jumping from is at quite literally 8.
I mean,
Yeah.
you could take cover over here, and then on the next time your turn comes up, just sprint around the corner.
Yeah.
Yep.
Plus, that'll give us
That's
a
what I
turn
was
to
thinking.
light it up with rockets and not worry about blowing the fuck out of you.
Yeah.
Also true.
And see if you
Facts.
even need to jump out there.
True. Yeah, I think what I'm going to do then is. Oh, we're still paused.
Oh, I'm so sorry. There you go.
Thank you. 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm just going to peek out and take a shot generally at the helicopter with the Perseus.
Gotcha. Okay. So just at the AV, and then let me pull up the right book here. 'cause I still-
Well, that wasn't supposed to happen.
Holy shit! Holy shit! Wei
we're
is
starting
just
this one
like,
with a-
hello, I am here, and I do not like what you are doing, Militech. I would
What
like
This is
It's
workplace
gonna be-
harassment.
I would like to flatline your fucking AV, please. Okay, hold up. I need the AV stat block real quick here.
Meanwhile, encounter over. Move on.
Meanwhile, encounter over. Oh my god. Yeah, okay, so this thing's got that many SDP. Awesome. All right, yep, go ahead. Wait, roll me damage on that. That's Because you're just shooting the vehicle itself, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. Go
and
ahead.
it is armor piercing. I don't know how that equates with vehicle health pools.
All right.
Same tradition, bad
best.
damage roll. It's good.
Yeah.
If he tries to shoot, he'll hit the shot, but it's always terrible damage. I've noticed.
Yeah. No, let me.
Oh.
Look here.
Oh.
Let's go down to here. All right.
Zeke is not going to have fun.
Yep.
here.
So you see the bullet land, but it doesn't seem to do too much. We now go to Persephone's turn here.
One thing I do want to mention is that I did give my flamethrower to Electo at some point in the last session, and it is still on my sheet.
Oh, I will do the transfer real quick.
And I gave her the shotgun and all of the incendiary for it.
Also, what's Persephone's initiative roll? It's not showing up for me.
17.
Higher
17.
than you.
17? Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then all
So-
the incendiary. It should show on your sheet now, Maya.
Oh, I already have it on my sheet.
Oh, whoops. Well, I just added even more.
I can't use 2 flamethrowers. That's okay. I can delete the other one.
Okay.
That
I
way I
would love
don't
to
delete the one that has my
combine
shells in it already.
Yeah.
I'd love to see Electo try to double fist some flamethrowers into battle. That'd be great.
That would be fun.
So
I'm seeing
guys,
like Tank Girl. I have visions of like Tank Girl. Great.
I apologize to do this so early into stream, but all of a sudden my stomach is not agreeing. So hold on. We'll be right back, guys. Give me 5 minutes. I will literally be right back. I just really need to address this. Hey everyone, we are back. I am so sorry for that. That is not how I want to start a stream. So I appreciate you all hanging out with us while I went and addressed the issues I was having there. So yeah, I'm so sorry. We were on, I believe it was Persephone before
Yeah.
I had to run like the wind. So Persephone, what would you like to do about these bad men and their stupid mission?
Well, what do you think I would like to do about these bad men and their stupid machine?
I think you're gonna flash them. That's what I think.
Do you think I would like to go out there and rip off my shirt and shoot them with my big shiny rockets? You're absolutely correct.
Yep, yep.
There's going to be a bright light followed by a loud noise.
And I'm going to use 2 luck because why not?
I feel like this is they are all within the blast radius. We really want to hit it, you know?
Let me just confirm right now what our rocket launcher DV is looking like right now. Yeah, that is a DV that will hit. Go ahead and roll me damage on that rocket launcher, please.
Cool.
Let's fucking go.
Let's see that 8d6 roll right now.
Oh. Oh.
Oh.
That bitch
That's
chunky.
armor piercing, isn't it? Or no, it's smart rockets.
It's a smart rocket.
These are smart rockets, however. That is a decent chunk of damage. It is not a critical injury, but it is definitely going to do quite a bit of very solid structural damage to this thing. So, yeah, that thing is starting to smoke. The turbofan's grinding. And that's after just the first opening volley here of a couple shots. Persephone, would you like to move at all before your turn is over?
Yeah, I guess I'll get it behind these crates.
Yeah, cool. It's just a wall. I just made the wall.
Oh, it's a
out of-
wall. Okay, maybe.
Yeah, I
was just
made
like,
the walls out of
ooh.
crates for the room. Yep. Electo, we are on to you.
Okay, the first thing I would do is I would look at Rex and I would yell, fire extinguisher.
And Rex reaches on the wall behind him and just throws it to you.
Excellent. Then
Yep.
what I want to do, I have a fire extinguisher now.
You do. Oh, I forgot to roll Rex into initiative here. Let me do that real quick. Cool. All right.
Hey, the homie.
This over here, is this like an elevator? Or is that another window?
That's the entrance into the rest of the club. So this is the VIP room you guys are in. This would lead you out into the wider club.
And from my knowledge of the club, would it this would put undue stress on you because you'd have to make it again. But would it be easier to fight a helicopter in the club or in this funnel of death here?
The funnel of death is probably the better place to shoot the AV.
Is it? Okay.
Yep.
Um.
Because the club has other walls and stuff. Like it doesn't have the same view of the outside.
What if what's my freaking move again? 5. DV50. I'm thinking we could throw the fire extinguisher in the AV, shoot it, and then it would smoke them off, and they would have trouble shooting us. That's what I'm thinking.
Ooh, she's thinking improvised smoke grenade. Okay.
Yeah, because we're in a funnel of death, which is bad.
You are accurate on that. Yep.
It's a DV15 for me to throw it there. Which... That's a athletics check, right?
It would be. Yep.
I have a base 10, so I literally have a 50-50 odds of throwing it.
Yep.
Fuck it. We're gonna wing it. Alright, I'm going to attempt to throw the fire extinguisher in the middle of them, and the little AV there.
Okay.
Athletics. I do not want to burn my luck on this.
Oh, and she
No!
hits it. She fucking hits it. So
Let's
yeah,
fucking
you
go.
just get a spiral on this thing going in, and you just hear the little cling, cling, cling as it just like hits against the metal floorboards of the center of the AV.
All right, then I'm gonna go one. Oh, where am I? Here we go. I go 1, 2, and I'm gonna say like somebody shoot that 3, 4, 5.
Yep. So
Because I can't shoot and throw at the same turn.
This security operative is going to simply move into position here and start laying down further fire. Dr. J, you're his target.
That is unfortunate.
So, Dr.
That
J,
is what we call
the
unfortunate.
DV you are against for a single shot assault rifle is 15. Would you like to evade?
Yes, please. And also, can you do it for me? My foundry decided to freeze.
I'd be happy to. Let me take care of that.
It's also what we call unfortunate.
All good. Scuff Tech. That's the name of the game right now. Oh, yeah. Dr. J is dodging the shit out of this, apparently. Okay.
Good.
That is a 27. Very, very good. We love that for you. Yeah, that definitely misses. So you're chilling. All right, Dr. J, back to you.
All right. So, what am I firing on here? A fire extinguisher?
Yeah, I
that would
hucked
be
a
the
fire
thing.
extinguisher in the middle of the AV.
Sounds like fun. Let me see if I can actually get this to work. Should. There it goes. All right. So I'm going to... Apparently I have luck. I don't think I used luck last session. We didn't really do much.
You may not have. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
we not replenish our luck? Or do we?
There's been no downtime. Isn't
I
There's
there?
thought it
been
was
no-
a...
Well,
It-
luck is
it-
session to session,
it's
not
Yeah, I thought it was
session
session
on
to
downtime.
session.
Yeah,
Oh, my
it's not,
bad.
it's not dependent on downtime, so everyone would have luck back. Yep.
Okay. So how does it work if I were to throw a grenade into the AV?
Boom.
I mean,
that would,
It would still
Athletics
break
check.
the fire extinguisher, so you know.
yeah, that too.
Yeah. Like,
I don't want them to see the concrete as they hit it.
that is I think that's kind? Question mark. I think that's a compassionate move, Doc.
I
No,
still like it to hurt.
it's fear.
It's fear. You want
Are
them
we
to be
falling
so
or rising? Which
disoriented
one is
that
it?
Yeah.
Can you let me check the DV on me on a thrown weapon?
Yeah. Let me do that for you here. One weapon. So from where you're currently standing, we're looking at DV15 for you.
Oh, that's wonderful. Okay.
Yep. DV15.
Do- because I want this to hit. Come on. The potatoes has to have the fan directly pointed at it because it's very hot in this apartment, even with the AC on right now.
Yeah, it's all good. All right. Come on, potato. I believe in you. Oh, no. Well, that womp womp. So, yeah, the grenade flies out of your hand. Let's find out where in this 10-meter circle it lands, shall we?
Oh, no.
Let me...
Hopefully it explodes before it hits the ground.
You better hope so. Oh, baby. All right.
Oh.
So we
Oh, this could go very wrong.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Oh, no. Yeah, that's going to bounce off the wall and then fall to the streets below.
Somebody's just carrying their groceries back and just gets fucking obliterated.
Somebody's
Yeah.
eating like shepherd's pie down below, and the grenade lands in their food.
You know,
It's
generally
the
from
pie factory.
from
It's
the
a
layout
bomb.
of the building and everything, the night market is out that window below you.
Oh no!
So
Well,
there might
wait,
be.
weren't
there
there
might be
explosives in that
some-
night market?
There could have been.
Oh no, my cabbages.
Well,
My cabbages.
My cabbages. My cabbages. Yeah, no, that's...
insert oh no.mp3 here.
Yeah, oh no. So with that, Dr. J, you move. Okay, cool. So with that, let me pull up our friend here. So he is going to take further shots here. Zeke, you are in his line of fire.
I already had my sheet open. I knew it was coming.
You knew it was coming.
I knew it was coming.
Go ahead and roll evade if
Oh,
you
no.
want. It is a 15.
Yeah. Ouch. Owie.
Get those out early.
I mean, at least
Ouch. Okay, thank God.
That is
Oh.
not as problematic as it could have been, admittedly. Oh, and your shield absorbed it. Or no, you
good.
wouldn't have had your shield deployed, would you?
I was going to ask if I could have it out after seeing it coming. After seeing the AV approach.
You didn't. That's the thing.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, like, because it was Dr. J and Electo that.
So we'll just go ahead and do that and rerun the count.
Yeah, let me just reverse that real quick. So that should be fully reversed, I believe. I'm 99% sure. Bulletproof, yeah, that is reversed. Yep. Okay, cool. So now we delete that one, repeat that, and this time not interpose the shield. There you go. 6 damage. Not the worst. And now you get to get even. Go ahead.
We're gonna go. Let's see. Get this. We're gonna go top 1, 2, and I'm going to use my pop-up grenade launcher to launch a grenade to the center of this AV.
Okay.
Hopefully.
I hear it.
No, we'll save your luck. I'm confident. Confident.
Oh, yep, that should do it. That does do it. All right. Very cool. Roll me the damage. Oh my. Those are some big numbies. Yeah, so that AV is now starting to sputter and have some issues staying afloat.
So that's 1, 2, and then 3, 4. And yeah, there we go.
Oh wait, I nearly forgot. Why? I don't know why I forgot this, but on Persephone's rocket launcher, I forgot to damage all of the dudes inside the AV.
Oh.
Let's
Yeah,
apply
please do that.
Let's apply that real quick, shall we?
Oh.
Feels like something important, Charlie.
It does. I was thinking of the AV's health, not the dudes inside it, to be fair. Yep. So that's a lot of damage. And then finally, let's see, because that 21. Where did that 21 get dealt from? Why is it 21 instead of... Hold on. My friends, you should all have the same armor and health. Why is one of you 5 less? What is going on?
It dealt 21 damage to one of them.
I know, that's why I'm confused. I'm like, how did this deal 21 to one of them? Oh, I think I see what I did. Hold on. Because I bet if I were to tap this, I'm going to reverse this if it does what I think. Yeah, that's why. Hold up. Hold up. I realize what I did. I applied the damage. Because I bet if I apply this one, this will be 14 now, right? 15, yeah, because it was what, yep. So I applied the grenade launcher damage to one of them, or to most of them, and then I only applied the rocket launcher to that first one. So let's try that again. So this is going to be the second. Jesus, there's the rocket.
Wait, so they've taken like 37 points of damage?
Yes. The only one who hasn't, because he's guarded by some of the internals, is the pilot. So the rest of these guys actually died with the grenade popping off.
Let's fucking go.
Yeah, I'm gonna confirm that in about 5 seconds here, but that rocket launcher grenade combo was very, very potent.
And the grenade would have set off the smoke or the fire extinguisher,
no,
wouldn't it?
that thing is hissing.
I mean,
yes,
at least they're not burning while they're falling.
They should all be they're all negative. So let me go through and showcase the following. Dead.
They're like, we're rolling in, boys. We got them. They just get fucking obliterated.
We got them.
Within
And then
3
fucking,
seconds.
Dead.
Dude, their life series did not, in fact, get renewed for a season 2.
Traumatine's like, Jesus Christ, what happened to these?
they see 5 people flatline at once. Like, what the fuck?
They strongly considered coming back for Neon Inferno Season 2, and they were not selected. They didn't get that casting call. So with that, we've got Rex here, who is simply going to do the following. He is going to stand up from behind the table where he sought cover, and he's going to stride forward here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And he is going to line up a heavy pistol shot here on the driver. I believe at that range, the DV is a 25. Hold on, not grenade launcher pistol. DV 20. Okay, better than I thought. So he's going to line up with his excellent quality heavy pistol, the Royal Flush.
Oh.
Let's
guess you could say
go.
That pilot is about to be having a bad time. Unfortunately, that might not hit the pilot in terms of health. Yeah, unfortunately, that is not enough to clear the pilot's armor. So he's going to shoot him again and barely misses that time. So he takes 2 shots. This guy, as you might expect, is going to get this AV the fuck out of here. He is not here to
Bugging
take
out.
that smoke.
I mean, they wanted to run a fade.
We just wiped out the entire crew of that AV within 3 seconds.
We ran their pockets.
Yes.
And
they didn't know who they were messing with, clearly.
Was there any identifying marks on the AV? I mean, I'm assuming it's Militech, but did it say Militech on it?
Oh, it had the Militech M on it. Yep. No, like
hell yeah.
Clearly,
very
their
clear.
employees do not own air fryers.
So, with that, Rex simply says, "All right, I am going to go up. I'm going to prep an AV on the rooftop. Meet me there. I want you to check in on the ground. I can't imagine that the AVs just came for us."
Copy.
Yeah, it's not likely, and I'm going to reload my popper.
You're telling Electo to go kill some corpos? Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Way's just gonna stern face reload and start heading up to the roof.
Very cool. All right.
Stephanie is also going to load her boob. I'm assuming it's the left one that is limp now.
It could be whichever one you want. So yeah, sure.
Look, I always try to be oddly specific with all of my weird comments.
For those of you in chat who do not know what she's talking about, she has a rocket launcher. It affixes rockets like so.
She has a rocket launcher. It is self-explanatory.
Yes. Didn't I name it?
It is exactly what it sounds like.
So good at naming things. They are exactly what they sound like.
All right. So are part of the group going to go to the roof and part of them going to go on the ground? Because he said
I was going to the ground like he said.
Yeah. Okay. So Maya's going ground. Zeke, you're going ground.
Duh.
Everyone going ground, or?
I'm doing what Rex said.
Yep.
Oh, my bad. I guess I'm following the group. All I heard was the last part going toward the roof with some sort of go toward the AV on the roof or whatever.
Yeah, no. All Rex said he's gonna go up and prep his AV on the roof, while the rest of you go check on the ground to make sure, check for any injuries or things like that, and do what you can, and then meet him up there once you've kind of surveyed what's going on, because he can't imagine that this was the only that you guys were the only targets of the AVs. So with that, let me quickly do some shenanigans behind my privacy screen here. Let me double check here. Oh my.
Sorry.
There
I did not have enough warning to mute it.
Oh, it's all good. All right. So you guys are going to get a little bit of nostalgia, I think, from this.
Oh?
Yeah. Let me, I'm going to finish tweaking this real quick. I need to toggle here. That's over. What are we laughing about?
I appreciate the gift that you sent in the personal chat.
All right, guys. So I'm gonna get your character tokens brought onto the scene here that I've got. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. And I believe that's not interfering. Yeah, that's not interfering with anything. Very cool. All right, activating scene, go.
Oh. Oh, I already know what we're about to see. This hurts.
Oh, still 98.
Yeah, it's all good. This one is animated, so it's going to take a minute.
I'm going to kill every Militech person I see, and then grab as many rockets and grenades as I can physically fit in my hands. Oh, I remember this.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, this is such a cool map.
All the way back to episode 1.
You can strap them to your...
Yep. So as you guys get onto the ground here, people, contrary to what this map looks like, are kind of running out along the edges of this, just scattering away. You see in front of you right here, a giant crater in the ground. Not giant crater, but a crater nonetheless, where it looks like a grenade went off.
Huh.
I wonder what happened there.
Nobody will ever know.
Nobody will ever know. In addition, this is something I did want to put out on the map here. You see a nomad gripping her leg. So allow me to set that for you here so you can visually see this. Let me. Yeah, there we go. Like I knew which token I wanted. So yeah, so she is here gripping her leg. That very clearly, Dr. J, you recognize is very much fractured. That thing is not looking great. She calls out, "You have to help me! They're fucking coming!" And you can hear sirens as the police are closing in on
the
alley.
cops too?
Yep.
Well, first things first, I'm helping her.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, Zeke's more or less, he's gonna have his hand on the grip of his pistol just at the ready, just keeping an eye out.
Totally.
I want to try
at this point,
find
any Militech.
Yeah, I want to try and find any grenades or rockets before the cops get here.
Okay. Rockets, armor-piercing rockets you probably could find in one of the nearby caches. It looks like she was actually selling munitions here. So you can definitely get your hands on a couple of rockets.
A couple, like 2, 3, 5. How many? Because I want to grab as many as there are.
I would say because of the size of rockets, you can grab one in each hand.
One in each hand?
In the spur of the moment that you're kind of running up and grabbing these. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Grab enough to load the thing and then grab more.
Maybe also grab some rockets since we're looting.
Yeah, and so Dr. J, go ahead and make me I believe it's a paramedic check.
He is 5 parallel universes ahead of you.
Oh, did he roll already and I'm just in the wrong
Yep.
tab? He is, and he's 31. Wow, that is a lot. Holy shit. Yeah, so she is splinted, and she said, "We didn't have much of a warning, but I told them to start fucking running. Some guy suit came out of there maybe, I don't know, 5 minutes, 10 minutes before the AV showed up. Gave me real bad fucking vibes."
What do you look like?
I don't know. I think he had corporate logo on a suit jacket, slick back, black hair. Said something about like, give me a second. Like, he mentioned something about edge runners. I think it was, yeah, he's gonna kill us all with those edge runners of his. One of them killed one of mine. We can't trust them not to fuck it up. I think that he told them to just run it out and tell the little green men they'll love the opportunity.
Does that description fit somebody we would have saw upstairs with Rex?
It fits Billy's description.
Fucking.
And now that name rings the bell the clearest it has all night. Because you remember that he never forgave you for killing his brother in an operation when you couldn't have done anything. Yep. So, yeah, he didn't trust Rex to keep things level here. That's what she's told you. Everyone else is pretty much run. The cops, however, during the time you guys have been looting and she is here, the cops have started to show up.
Is she the only one here?
She's the only one who kind of got left behind. The rest of them were able to kind of run away. So they were all kind of scattering along the edges. The cops, however, started kind of pushing in from up here. So let me start putting some
I
dudes.
propose we grab her and then just head to the roof to the AV.
Yep. I agree.
Yep.
God, that's a lot of fucking cops.
I'm be here to not
Yeah.
meet cops. Thanks.
And so these guys all yell out, "Freeze! Stay where you are!" And now,
Flip them off.
yeah, of course you are. I expect nothing less from you, Maya.
I have an idea, but it's going to require Zeke to swallow a shit ton of pride. And I'm gonna need some input on this, but my idea is he'll throw his hands up and he'll be like, "Look, guys, we got some injured here. There might be some more further down. I don't know. Looks like there was a fucking explosion here." But not outright lying, just lying by omission. Of like saying there was an explosion here.
They went that way.
We've got wounded here, and more people ran that way. I don't know if it was some sort of like terror. Like this is where the lie comes in. Just like I don't know if it was some sort of terrorist attack or there was an AV up there.
Tell him it was a cyber psycho ran down the road.
Like his
Santa,
guns blazing.
Santa Claus flew by too.
Just there's an AV, guns firing up above, glass falling. There's an explosion. We've got a wounded here. There might be more down there.
Yeah. So
just
go
like
ahead.
even if it just buys a moment of them hesitating.
Sure.
Just like him stepping forward with his hands up, be like, just say, look, there is an explosion here. We've got someone injured here. We've got a doctor who's helped with the situation for the most part. Might be more down that way, and he's just gonna gesture to where everyone was running.
Got it. All right. Go ahead. Roll me persuasion.
Oh.
I believe in you, Rocker Boy.
Persuasion.
Social skills on the right.
Okay, I have a decent bonus, and I'm going to actually just dump all of my luck into this.
All right, here we go.
Hell yeah.
Because
Luck
I
dump.
need this to go well. Ooh.
Oh, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. So the cops,
Like, and he just he has his hands up too. Like as soon as they said hands up, he just threw his hand away from the grip of his pistol, and both hands went up.
And it's like it almost like hurts.
As soon as he saw, specifically as soon as he saw the amount of cops there.
Yeah, he knew that this was not going to end well for him. So yeah, so the cops say, all right, move in, all units move in. And so these 6 begin just kind of marching past you through the night market.
And now I'm just going to turn to the party and be like, AV now.
Yeah.
Yep. And so these guys are just ducking around the corner here as you all start heading inside. Ooh.
My car,
Please don't notice that I am strapped the fuck up with guns.
Yep. And the girl says, "My name's Lily. Can I come with you?" As she tries to like shift weight onto her leg.
Absolutely, you're coming with us.
Yep.
Yeah, I was about to say I'll just run back here and help the doc carry her.
Yeah,
just so this goes a little fast.
What's up?
You said she's a nomad. Does she have any kind of logo or anything that we might recognize?
You do see an Alda Calder's patch on her jacket.
Okay.
They're a friend.
Yeah,
they-
friend.
They are friends. So you guys also, I wanted to have the battle map just in case we needed to duke it out with the cops, but
Thank God.
Electro's not happy about letting the cops live, but it is much more important to get the fuck out.
Yeah, like the amount of pride that just had to be swallowed on Zeke's behalf. He hates that he's just had to do this. He's like, oh, he might actually break out in hives. He's allergic to it.
all right. Well, with that, we're going back to the home screen, guys.
That's such a severe pork allergy. I'm so sorry.
God damn it. So you guys run back up through the emergency stairwell of the club and head for the roof access, where the closer you get, the louder and louder the whine of AV engines becomes. You exit through the access door for the roof, and there in the center of the helipad is Rex dangling out the side of the bay door of an AV that seems equipped for military operations. Not his usual sleek, high-class, very visible AV, but instead a very utilitarian, combat-ready sort of military AV.
As soon as they approach, he's just gonna find Rex and be like, "Everything's sorted down there. We've just got this one nomad that was wounded, as far as I can tell. I was able to get the police walking down the road though, so we might want to get the fuck out."
Yeah, and so you hear with that, after all of you have kind of loaded in, he, still gun in his hand, taps the base of his gun against the door into the cockpit, says, "Lift it, we're out of here." And with that, the jets engage. You ascend very rapidly up past the layer of clouds that are hanging low over the city. And below you, you see the neon bonfire that is Night City kind of fade into the darkness. And with that, I would like to shift our soundscape. So, Rex says, I have a couple of places that we could go, but we need to figure out our next move, and we need to do it fast. Militech knew what we have. Ugh. I hope Wood Chipper's gotten things back to the Aldecaldos by now.
I was just about to ask, do we know where it is?
Let's get settled in. I think I know a place not too far from where they usually camp. Something called the Sunset Hills Motel. So we'll head there. It's going to be a short flight, relatively speaking. And once we're there, we can rent some rooms. We can figure out what our next play is. And so with that, the AV sails through the night. Rex is fairly quiet, his grip not leaving his pistol. And he looks visibly shaken by what has happened. And he even says, after a few minutes of silence in the cabin as the flight kind of continues, he says, I never thought a corporation would be so bold as to shoot up my club.
God knows they have enough money to throw at PRs to make the stories be told a different way.
I just usually have enough money to turn their guns elsewhere. Apparently, it's no longer enough.
So while Rex is chatting, I'm gonna go ahead and reach into the bag. Notice he's a little bit beat up, and speed heal him real quick.
Cool. And
he writes my paychecks. So
yeah, no. And upon hearing the hiss of that air hypo, I'm just gonna drag him onto the map here for simplicity's sake. Oh wait, is he not? Hold on, give me a sec. Let me actually copy him from the other map in order for this to be an accurate count. All right. So you inject him with the speed heal, his body plus will. Yeah, that'll actually be enough to bring him back to full health. So you hear that hiss of your air hypo, inject the speed heal into his arm, and he just kind of flexes the arm. He says, thank you. Now I think I want to do some of that burning you were talking about.
What do you want to burn?
I think I'd like to burn some Militech fucks.
Hell yeah.
Let's burn Militech to the ground.
I think we just need a plan. And so with that,
we do have a nuke.
And he looks sternly still at that idea, but he nods like almost solemnly as he kind of understands like that might be what's needed, and he just kind of nods and says, yeah, we have a nuke. And with
if we
that,
can't avoid dropping it in the city.
Yeah. So below you, the empty wastes of the Badlands are by and large punctuated very sparsely by tiny points of light that are either the few functioning highway lighting systems that are still operational, or the very few and far between settlements that exist out a couple of dozen miles from the city. One cluster of these lights gets larger and larger in your view as the AV begins to descend. And as you get closer, you can see the facade of a dusty old motel, seemingly ripped out of those old westerns that maybe some of you have experienced via Braindance in your boredom. And as you land in the parking lot in front of this thing, you notice the couple of vehicles that are there are the very typical amalgamated heaps of metal that pass for nomad vehicles that have been jerry-rigged, modified, and updated into all kinds of custom configuration. And as the AV sets down, even though it is not the normal kind of glitzy, flashy, sort of showy AV or vehicle that Rex would typically use when getting from A to B, you all still feel that sense that this thing does not belong here. Like, this is not something that fits in with its surroundings. And so the AV sets down, the bay doors are opened yet again, and Rex hops down out of one of them and simply, well, before he hops down, he opens the doorway to the cockpit, and he simply tells the pilot, "Leave. I'll call for you if we need you." And as soon as all of you have exited the vehicle onto the ground, the AV again takes to the air, flying back in the direction of the city, and quickly becomes invisible to your eyes as it passes again through the overcast clouds above you. So you are all within the parking lot of this motel. Rex, seeming to have a sense of where he is going, walks ahead of you all toward what you recognize is a basically just like a window booth that has a barely visible flickering neon check-in sign hung above it.
This is old.
Oh yes, like this is like probably just barely still functional after the Fourth Corporate War, but it's here. And no one will probably come looking for you in a place like this. That sense washes over you pretty fast. You're dozens of miles from the city at this point, and the motel in front of you is something that no one in their right mind would use for anything other than the last lodging that you could probably pick, doing some kind of hardcore drug that you need privacy for, or pretty much what you guys are doing, hiding out against something that wants you dead. So with that, Rex walks over and he says, "I'll take whatever you have for a room," and places down 500 eddies, and he says, "Unfortunately, Chooms, this one can't be on me." But so
fair enough. Your place did just get.
Yeah. So he pays up his 500 eddies. So the rent here at least isn't unreasonable. But yeah, it will cost you each 500 eddies to rent a room. They are single bed rooms.
Okay.
Think something a la Motel 6, and you're probably on the money just about.
Eddies deducted.
Yep.
Same.
All right. So you all get your keys. And once you've kind of found your respective rooms, they look about as good as you would have expected, which is to say, the flooring is definitely stained with something. You're not sure if it's blood, other kinds of fluids, or just, hard water that's maybe like leaked through the roof over time. The sheets are dusty. The room smells like mildew. And yeah, it's safe.
That works
Hell
for
yeah.
Yep. So as soon as you've all kind of found your rooms and settled in, Rex sends you a message to all of your agents and simply says, all right, let's gather over in my room. I think it's time we talk about what we do next.
I'll head right on over.
Yep.
Yeah.
So he, as you all walk through the door, he's sitting there in his motel room, in like the sole seat essentially they gave him, and he is looking less himself than you're used to seeing. Usually Rex is one of those very laid back, very chilled out, very like calm person types, where like you generally expect him to just have the plan, right? He's the guy who always knows what to do and how to get you in and out. But he looks stressed. He looks serious as could be. Cheer, thank you so much for the raid. Thank you. Welcome, Raiders. It's so good to have you with us. My name is Emmerron. We are playing Cyberpunk Red. This is Neon Inferno, our weekly episodic little adventure. The crew is hanging out in the dingiest motel in the middle of the desert because they just got shot at by a giant military corporation. So welcome in. You are welcome, any of you, to please follow. Check us out. All our previous episodes are over on my YouTube channel, but welcome. It's good to have you all with us. Did Estrogen Light Rail die? A very long time ago.
She's been dead for a while.
She's been dead.
3.
Yeah, this is the 17th episode without her, unfortunately. And this is episode 19, so that should be able to do math. For those of you who can subtract, you'll see real quick. She's been dead a long time.
Yeah, we've been here a while.
Yeah, so with that, Rex is sitting there looking serious. He says, so Militech doesn't die unless we hit them where it hurts the most.
With a nuke.
Possibly.
Let's hear the where first, and then we can figure out with what.
It's no secret that Militech is holed up in the NorCal military base. That is a pretty open and understood fact. To attack it would be suicidal, bordering on absolute insanity.
Sign me up.
Do you see how much chrome I have? I'm fucking wired. I'm insane, dude. There's not a sane thought in my body. I don't actually say that.
I'm just dumb.
Electos. She's not grasping all of her. She's not grasping all of her straws, to put it that way.
Yeah. And so Rex looks up at all of you and says, if we attack that place, it is very likely none of us comes out of there. We don't get to see anything through ever again if we do that.
Yeah, I'd like to live, thanks.
I would too. So the other potential proposition is we see if our nomad friends are willing to give us a hand. As I'm sure some of you are aware, they are no friends to our friends in Militech. And I'm sure many of them would love to see them wiped off the face of the city. But again, there will be risk. A lot of them could die. Any of you who want to participate in the forward assault may very well die. My proposition is if we are going to use a nuke, we drop it on them from the air. Where they're weakest.
Agreed.
They may have some air defenses, but they can't muster nearly as many especially after a stunt like tonight.
Well, you mentioned a forward assault being a separate group. Are we gonna have some saboteurs try to sneak in?
That might be the best way to do it. Knock open a front gate or something, let some people get in there, really wreak havoc on their supplies.
Well,
Light a
use
couple
forward
of-
assault as a diversion to get people in from behind.
Yeah.
Light a couple of
False flag it.
sensitive buildings on fire.
But either way, and Zeke is going to take Typhoon's smart glasses and just set them down on the table in front of him. I don't care who it is, but it has to be someone trustworthy. These need to get to either some Neo or Pierce, whichever one they come across first. These need to get to them. This is worth more than my life.
Yep, and he picks it up and he says, I understand. I'll see that I do my best to get them
And
into
the same
right
goes for
hands.
that smart pistol that I gave you.
It'll get there. So, friends, I say we call a meeting with the Aldecaldos tomorrow. Get our heads all together. See what we can muster. See what they're willing to give. I don't ask lightly anyone, all of you least of all, who I know so well, who've saved my life now more than once. I don't ask this lightly. Will you trust me one last time?
To the bitter end?
You've never given me a reason not to.
It's your name on my check every week, boss.
I'll take that. And Persephone, Way. Do I have your word, your assistance as well? I wouldn't hold it against you if I didn't.
We'll see how it goes. But I'll be there.
Very good. And Persephone. And Erica, if you are trying to speak, you might be muted.
I'm not. I'm thinking.
Okay, you're good. I just want to make sure,
Sorry.
make sure
But I
you're
will
with
say,
us.
after Way says he'll be there, Zeke's just gonna hold a hand out for just a little high five. He's like, all right, let's knock some heads.
No, she was just kind of thinking because she's like, is this really my fight?
It's fair.
For now, though, she's just gonna nod and go back to picking her fingernails.
Mm-hmm. And Rex simply says, a fixer can be many kinds of people in this city. He can choose to be callous, manipulative, selfish, greedy, and I have been all of these things in my time. I only hope I've done better by all of you than I have some of the previous runners who've run with me. I hope I can prove I have earned your trust. And with that, he simply says, everyone rest up. Tomorrow may be a very eventful day. And, kind of bids all of you leave.
I would like to stay
Okay.
and I want to. I don't know how long we're going to be planning this, or when we're planning to do this, but I want to relay to Rex the idea of what it is I'm trying to invent
Okay.
as like we'll have this, but I don't want to spoil it for obvious reasons. But I'm relaying that to him.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, I know everything that you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And he grins and he says, that's exactly the kind of crazy thing I would expect from you.
Just wait till you see what shit I've come up with since then.
Says, obviously, if the likes of Faisal and Militech are coming after you for your ideas, they're clearly high quality.
Oh, don't remind me about that. Don't remind me about that.
Gonna send her on her Jack the Ripper arc.
Yeah. He says, I just need you as sharp as I can get you before tomorrow.
You've got it.
And so, anyone else staying at all to have any last words with Rex before you all go to sleep?
Not any last words with Rex, but he is just gonna send a message to Zeke is gonna just send a message to his band and just let him know that he may go dark for a while and that they should keep their ears open, because if they don't hear back from him within the next week, he's probably died. And he doesn't say anything beyond that.
Yep. And so they all message you and they say, Chum, without you, we ain't got asymmetry. It just ain't the fucking same.
Well, if I die, Chums, you'll have had a second Legend of Night City in your fucking band. Let's just say if I do die, it's gonna be from a very bright light.
And they are mixed about that. They message you back, they say, well, yeah, but we're all going to be legends together.
I know that was the plan, but things don't always go that way. And he's just going to send all of his remaining Eddies to his bandmates, all 4,800, and just let them know, like, look, I know the plan was to become legends together, but this city is cruel, and the corpse are even worse. I have a chance to wipe one off the face of the earth, and life might get a little sweeter after that.
And Mars sends back, Chumba, if you're gonna burn something, let us light the match with you. You know we are open to it. We went in with you that one time, and we will do it again. No matter how big the fucking venue, we'll rock that shit. We'll level it.
I don't know if you want to try to rock Militech.
And they say, Chumba, you just tell us where, you tell us when, you tell us how big the amps have to be. We'll be there.
You could get yourselves killed doing this.
And you could too. We're going to become legend together.
Fair enough. If that's the case, find as many doped up rocker heads you can find. As many of the craziest ones that want to get in on the violence, invite them all. And I'll have more deets for the when and where soon.
We'll make some calls. We'll make some calls. You just keep us in the loop. Stay safe. Don't let them find you until then.
Well, if they do, their boss won't hear back from them for a while.
And with that, they all kind of just sign off with a series of small, like, memes and emojis at you to just kind of, like, give you that, like, comedic reassurance. Like, we got your back. And, yeah, it's one by one you see them kind of blip off to offline on the CityNet. So
after that, I'll just kind of check out for the evening too.
Yep. And I was actually, it's awesome you led into that on your own volition, because my question that I was going to ask before you started doing all of that was, as you all find your beds for the evening, we didn't do this at the end of last session, so now it feels only appropriate that we have to do it now in the middle of this one. Let's go left to right with our remaining runners. Persephone, I know you're feeling conflicted about this conflict that Rex is beginning to suggest walking into. So as you find your bed, what are you thinking about? What are you feeling?
Well, she's thinking about her friends, specifically Blackout and Spectrum. Blackout, who currently doesn't have a freaking body. And Spectrum, who's just this sweet little idiot, has no idea what's going on. And can you remind me where exactly we're sending the bomb? I heard it was the Militech place, but I forget where that is.
It's the North California, the NorCal military base, which is pretty much a
northeast
straight
of the city.
Yeah, it's pretty much straight northeast of the city.
Okay, gotcha. Would that still be enough to affect the city itself?
Potentially. It's not gonna be at the center though, like it was with Arasaka Tower. So if it affects anything, it's gonna affect the fringes.
Well, like, she's pretty close to going psycho, but she's not let's just say she's narcissistic, but she's very loyal to the people she wants to be loyal to.
Mm-hmm.
Rex still has Blackout, right, on a chip?
He does. He's had her in his agent for a while now.
Okay, I have a weird question that might become problematic. Would it be possible for Persephone to sneak into Rex's agent and borrow Blackout for a conversation?
I mean, to get into his room, you probably have to pick the lock. So, just depends.
I have a lockpicking set.
Yeah, so I mean, if you're okay with doing that, then you could try.
Well, I just wasn't sure. I'm like, is this something we want to do tonight?
I mean, you could probably ask him.
We're not even halfway through the session tonight. We are just.
Well, he's asleep though, right?
He is, or at the very least, probably getting ready to be. Yeah.
Okay, well, she, I guess, for lack of better judgment, will go and knock on his door and just be like, I really need to have a conversation with a friend. And then if he looks at her confused, she'll be like, no, not you, Blackout.
Yeah, he looks at you. He looks at you like you've just complimented him for a moment until you say, oh no, Blackout. And he's kind of gets a look of like just a little bit of sadness in his eyes. And he says, I understand. And he opens his agent up and sends Blackout's file over into your agent. So
and she's kind of gonna have like this moment of lucidity and be like, you're really awesome too. I love what you've done with your hair recently. Look really awesome. And you're like a really great fixer. And yeah, anyway, thanks. And then she's gonna completely ignore him and boot up Blackout.
Yeah. And so once she kind of stretches her arms out and she says, I gotta say, I didn't think you could feel cramped existing, but it feels cramped existing these days.
Like, this place is cute though. I like what you've done with it. You've always had a touch for style. Like, you've always known how to brighten up the most bleak situations. I can't continue on with this. Do you know what's happening?
I get to see a lot of Rex's communication, so yeah, you guys are about to do something big, stupid, something that even your gonk brain of a father probably wouldn't try unless he was truly desperate.
I mean, like, I don't know, like, they all seem like so into this, and like, I just don't find it to be that shiny, but I don't know why, and it just, like, they're all like ready to go. You're the smart one. You actually passed everything and didn't have to pay and didn't have to like bribe the nerds. What do you think?
And she kind of sits there, the avatar on your screen of her just kind of looking quizzically up at where the ceiling would be if she were sitting in a room. And she looks at you and says, I am conflicted. Because on one hand, the rest of the crew isn't wrong. These assholes deserve to flatline for what they've done to everyone. And the same can easily be said for Kahukura, Arasaka. They deserve what they have coming. But there's the part of me, even disembodied me, I remember my body lighting on fire. I remember Soul Killer dragging my consciousness. I remember what it felt like, the helplessness, and just being completely dominated by something far greater, far more powerful than my mortal self. And when you talk about going up against something, an entity far bigger, far more powerful than the one capable of doing those things to me, I can't help but be afraid of what might happen.
Like, so you think I should steal the nuke, right? That's where we're going with this, right?
She kind of grins at you. She says, I think you need to consider whatever you decide to do next very carefully. Because someone's got to get set on fire. I just don't want it to be us. But at the end of the day...
Persephone's gonna, like, fidget and kind of, like, squeeze her knees, and she goes, but I'm so bad at being careful. You know that. That's why I had the doctor on call for the STDs.
And she kind of laughs at that.
I had to give so many blowjobs to get through school, girl. Like, you don't even understand.
She says, well, I wouldn't understand if you hadn't talked about half of them the day after. So,
look, you had to know. I needed to know what the burning was and if I should be worried.
And usually, just like I'm telling you right now, the correct answer is yes, be worried. But this time around, I want to light them on fire too. I want that fire to burn in a certain direction. I don't want it to blow back in our faces.
Like, we have other things. We've got, like, a vacuum bomb and some other stuff. And junk, and I want to see my dad's ass on fire just as much as anybody, but I think this is overkill. Emphasis on the kill.
Whole military base, nuke will deal with that. I don't know if a vacuum bomb would. If it was just your father's building, the vacuum bomb, that'd be a start. That'd be a pretty sizable one. The nuke would be overkill there. That's where I look at this and I say, the nuke might just be the play. It might just be a good idea. And that feels incredibly scary to say. And I can only wonder if maybe I've lost a little something in my time out of a body.
Well, this was deeply unhelpful, but it was good to talk to you. Just like every other time where you're always deeply unhelpful. And you always tell me to do my own homework and maybe learn some math and maybe stop hanging around with the guys behind the bleachers and just unhelpful, annoying shit. But I appreciate it.
I try. I only hope that I've been a little more, or I suppose you would say a little less unhelpful than I usually am.
I mean, it's probably about the same.
Fair enough. And
I'm gonna need to call the dum-dum though and get her out of the city, aren't I?
Maybe.
She won't get out of here on her own.
Yeah, probably not.
I bet you there's an international tour or something I could send her on.
I mean, good luck finding the charter cruise that your gonk ass can afford. I've seen what he pays you, and it's not nearly enough for that.
Oh, no, not me. Oh my god, no. Her parents are still paying for everything. Like, Lord knows they would love to get her out of the city and away from the junk scene. Like, I just have to send them a quick anonymous email about some opportunity in a different place. They'll lap that shit up.
I hope you're right.
No, I'm probably not. Since when have I ever been the right one?
Got that.
That was always you.
So, with that...
How do you sleep?
Well, I mean, I'm a program, so no, I don't really need to.
Weird. So you're like legit a robot. So are you like a chatbot? Can you become a chatbot? I didn't know that worked that way. Whoa. I just like had a revelation.
She literally, so you see her start gesturing with her hands in a way that is like, it at first you're like, what is she trying to say with her hands right now? And then you only realize half a second before your screen goes dark that she's running net running commands, and your screen just blacks out as she shuts down that line of conversation the most direct way possible.
Bitch.
Wish I could do that with some of the people I talk to.
Oh my god, that bitch, she literally never changes, even when she's just a chatbot. She is like the same fucking person. Oh my god.
So with that, what are you feeling, Persephone, after that conversation with her? As you
You
try
know,
and find
she's
sleep?
kind of feeling conflicted, but she's gonna go sleep on it.
Okay. Dr. J, how are you feeling as you find your bed?
I mean, today wasn't much different from the last few days that, a few weeks that I've had. So,
Yeah.
I mean,
Everything's on fire as usual.
Yep. At least it's not me this time.
It's true.
I mean, yeah, I'll probably I'm just gonna go around the room, smell the mildew, like look at the dust on the fucking furniture, and be like, "Well, this isn't my lab.
Yeah,
This is a."
you start having images of, but what if I need to practice field medicine here, and shudder a little bit.
Hopefully I won't have to.
Yeah, hopefully not. You revile at the thought. So you are just kind of like taking it in stride at this point then?
I mean, do I want to be near the nuke? No. Will I be on the front lines? I don't want to be. I'd rather be back with the crew, who sits back and take care of my tombs, and I'll show up with the, missing limbs and everything else.
Right. Simpler life.
I don't see myself on the front lines here. This is too much for me, personally.
Yeah. So you're kind of in that camp of, I'm going to attend the meeting, see what gets decided, and then play it from there.
I look at it like this. Whoever's on my table is my patient.
Mm.
It could be Militech. It could be Zeke. It could be Rex. Could be a druggie. Doesn't matter. I do what I do, and I do it the best.
Fair.
And I don't want to, stop doing it just because I'm fucking dead.
It's fair. So, yeah, you find rest resolute like you usually are with your regard to your job. And, yeah, you just prepare for another day in the office, as it were. Wei, as you find your bed, what are you doing?
He's probably sitting on the edge of his bed, foot tapping, understanding the hornet's nest that he's about to just run up and punt kick by trying to do this. But he also knows this is part of what he needs to do when he talks about clearing things out, making it actually safe. Mm-hmm. The damage that's about to happen is part of what needs to happen to move to the future that he wants. So he's kind of resolving himself to the situation.
Fair. You have a couple of things that kind of float through your mind, too, of your time out with the Barracudas. And you remember there were certain corporations that if you saw a transport that looked like it was in good condition, you didn't go near it. And you remember Militech being one of them. because anytime you got close to those things, usually a lot of people died. So unless it was something that was desperately needed, you never, ever, ever touched those things. They were the Black Death, and in many ways, quite literally. And you can't help but remember some of that as you are doing this meditative kind of resolve toward, we're going to punt that thing. That giant can that would kill everyone on my ship. We're going to kick it and kick it fucking hard. And eventually kind of find sleep in the meditation. Finally, Electo. Probably the most gung-ho about this plan by far. How are you feeling?
Yeah. She's probably excited, to be honest. She's probably excited. She would have printed out tools to clean her weapons, because, you know, that's her thing.
Yep.
And she's just all kinds of designs of what she could make to try and make this happen. They're just racing through her mind. She's like, how do I stealth out an AV? What if I need to mask the signature of the nuke? What if I need to make a remote detonatable? It's just on and on and on and on and on until she eventually falls asleep.
Very cool. Yeah. Now you've got that passion going through your veins right now. Just like, I get to watch a fission reaction in real time. That hasn't happened in a long ass fucking time.
Yeah, she's like, man, 2 weeks ago I thought I was going to have to build a nuke, and then I just found one. This is fantastic.
So, with that, all of you have found sleep. And in your own ways, prepare yourself for the meeting on the morning. So, we are at about 2 hours. So I would like to propose taking our actual break. I'm not just
with this proposal.
Running off unexpectedly, like, excuse me, guys, BRB. So we will, for those of you here on Twitch, I will be back in just a little bit here to chat with all of you in our mid-time break. For those of you who are watching on YouTube, you'll see us back in just about 30 seconds. So I will talk with all of you in just a moment. Hang tight. We will be right back. Hey everyone, it's Emmerron here. I just want to thank you for watching the show here on YouTube. Like and subscribe. And go follow us over on Twitch, you gonk. We do a live show over there. We even chat with you after it's done. So come and join us, Mondays, 7 p.m. Arizona time. See you there in the dark future, tunes. And we are back, everybody. Welcome back, Twitch chat, YouTube. Hi, it's been a good 30 seconds for you all. I hope you enjoyed the mid-roll card. So we had a little trolling, if you will, done by our friend Ghost Squad 9. And I don't think
it's only trolling if you think it's a joke.
I was about to say, I don't think he thinks it's trolling, though. So I think I gotta arbitrate this seriously. So he has redeemed 20,000 channel points for how many smart rockets could I get for, and I quote, this many.
This many.
This many. I mean, the limit is 1,000 eddies, and smart rockets are 500 per. So I'd be willing to say 2, but you have to wait for me to drop them. So
okay.
that
is the payout. However.
Yep.
What's the magazine size for that tech hand?
2.
Ah.
Exactly 1 clip.
C'est magnifique.
So with that, we get back into things. So you all wake up, and Rex messages you all around probably 9 a.m. It says, all right, I've got a meeting slated with the Aldecaldos. They're going to send a transport out to grab us. Told them we don't got anything in the way of cars to transport. So they'll be here in about 30 minutes. So get yourselves ready. Take a shower if you have a working shower in your room. And get ready to meet with some of the fine holders of the wastelands outside of the city.
I'm assuming there aren't any of those fancy schmancy print your own bullet machines out here.
Vendits do not exist out here.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Vendits are in the city because that's what corporations can restock them. Out here, they'd be like, "What the hell are you doing?"
But that reminds me, is it Electra that has the printer?
Electra does.
I do have the porta printer, yeah.
You do? Yeah.
But I can't print ammunition with it.
Sure you could. Why couldn't you?
I can print ammunition this whole time?
I love how this is like, all of a sudden the tech just woke up and was like, wait a minute. I can make bullet? Yes, you can make bullet.
Myself the whole time.
I could make more gun juice? Yes, you can make more blam blam juice. Yeah, I think you have mentioned it to her before, Prepper. I think that got mentioned a couple times.
No, I could. I didn't think I could do it with my porta printer.
Yeah, the porta printer is just there to help you print out simple things, and I mean, caseless ammo is definitely not that challenging a thing. Let's at least basic awesome. Ammo, right? Like, because let me go to your tech roll ability real quick here, just to verify something. Hold up, I skipped right past it. Here we go. Yeah, for cheap every day, which is what that is. All basic ammo is cheap every day. You're talking an hour for every 10 regular rounds you want to print. So that'd be things like bullets or arrows. Or you have to spend a day for every 10 premium rounds. Or obviously, if we're talking for premium, you could also do things like grenades, but those are 1 per, right? Armor-piercing rockets, grenades, incendiaries of those same things. That's what you'd be looking at for that.
Oh,
and they cover the cheapo ammunition in errata. It costs 5 eddies to make 10 bullets. So that'd be things like your small game ammunition and stuff like that.
Neat.
Yep.
Well, we only have 30 minutes, so I can't really do anything. But neat.
Before we go, I'm actually gonna go knock on the door wherever Lily's staying, and I'm gonna go check on her really quick.
Yeah, and she's so as she kind of wakes up and you knock on her door, she still has the splint on and is just saying, "Yeah, Doc, I mean, this hurts. I won't lie."
So, if I can start and then finish the surgery on the ride over, that would be something I wouldn't mind doing for her to fix that.
I mean, surgery is a couple hours, and this isn't going to be a couple hours.
Oh, okay.
She is an Aldecaldo nomad, though, so you're going to meet with her people.
Yeah, I'm guessing she would have lost a little bit of the good blood and stuff while the leg was hurt. So I will go ahead, and if we're gonna be at the Aldecaldos, they probably have supplies and a med tech. I'll just hook her up with a speed heal really quick, just to sort of top her off so she won't feel the pain so much.
Sure. Yep.
And I'll just say, hey, if you need anything on the ride over, let me know. I don't have a whole bunch right now, but we're going to the camp, so we'll be there soon.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it, Doc. Thanks. And so the half hour passes pretty quickly, and rolling into the front of the motel, you see a fairly large, kind of Humvee-looking vehicle. And 2 nomads you can clearly see through the front are sitting in the cab at the front of the thing. And as they throw the car into park and step out, the one who's riding in the passenger seat upon seeing Lily, runs over and just squeezes her and just says, "Sister, when you didn't come back with the rest of them last night, they said they didn't know where you'd gone. And she just like touches this guy in the face, says, "It's okay. These fine runners made sure I got out of there. So don't worry. I'm here. I'm still kicking. But they need our help now, which is why you're both here." And with that, Rex says, "Yes, so let's get on." And he has this like unusual air of impatience about him, like he's almost like antsy.
And before Zeke gets in, he just taps Rex on the shoulder, like, "Can I have a word with you for a second?"
And
it's just real quick.
Yeah, and Rex nods and kind of walks over off to the side with you.
Yeah, he just wants to be just out of earshot of everyone else because he wants to keep this on the down low.
Fair.
For the time being. And he's just going to look Rex in the eyes and be like, "Listen, if we absolutely need more bodies here, I genuinely hate the idea of having to do this, but my band is big enough that we can rile up the craziest motherfuckers in Night City with a death wish that want to take Militech down. We could get hundreds of extra bodies to help with this. Maybe we don't have to share the entirety of the details with them, but if we have a signal that's going to be get the fuck out, things are about to get a little hotter than usual. We can definitely let them know that when they hear this sound, it's time to get the fuck out."
Okay. And he kind of nods at that. He says, "Let's have our talk with the nomads, but I'll keep it in mind. It definitely doesn't sound like the worst idea."
And just to put you at ease, I didn't leak any specific details. I love my Chumbas, and that's exactly why I didn't tell them everything.
No, it's good. I trust your discretion. It's not the first time they would have come in handy. So having them show up there would be potentially extremely helpful. So with that though, let's get back with the rest of the crew. Let's get going to the Aldecalder camp.
All right.
Yep. And so you all hop in the back of this Humvee and take off through the open California desert. And before too long, it's maybe a half an hour or so, and you begin through the canvas walls of the car. It's obviously not super easy to see outside what's going on, but out the back you start seeing every so often more and more kind of encampments around vehicles until the car parks, and you can see in the last few minutes before it does so the thick kind of ring of tents and vehicles and giant supply and food vehicles that are parked in a configuration here to basically erect a mobile settlement. And from the cab, you can hear one of the nomads yell back, "All right, Chooms, we're here. Everyone get out. It's time to have a little powwow around this crazy idea of yours." And as you all step out, standing there in almost this kind of receiving line of people, you've got a couple of faces and names that you might recognize. Certainly not least among them, those of you who remember Geo would see him standing there. Next to him is Wood Chipper, and next to her is a tall, graying man that has sun-baked skin and is wearing some very worn, weathered nomad leathers on him. And as you all kind of step out and get around to the front of the vehicle where these people are all waiting, Rex in particular steps forward and shakes the hand of the graying older man. He says, Santiago, it's been, well, too long. And Santiago grins, nods at me, says, I was thinking something kind of opposite. It's been much too little time, and you're here to tell me something I'm not going to like very much, are you? And Rex kind of nods and says, well, yes, I'm afraid I'm going to have to impose on you yet again. And he says, all right, well, everyone to the command center. Let's hear this terrible idea from you and your crew. And with that, Geo, Woodchipper, and Santiago take you back through the camp to this large, it basically looks like a truck that's been anchored to the ground. And stepping up and into it, you see a relatively detailed map that is hollow projected on a table. And the hollow projector is a little dated. You can tell because every so often the lighting on it kind of dims out or flickers. But displayed across this is a topographical 3D map of the majority of the northern edge of the southern part of California all the way up to the border with Oregon. And highlighted on there are all kinds of nomad shipping routes. And Santiago takes his place near the control panel for the table and begins zooming in on the area around Night City. And he says, okay, so Woodchipper here, and Woodchipper kind of looks at him almost fearful of what he's going to say. Says, Woodchipper here has informed me that you've come into the possession of some very powerful weapons. And so, because she refused to elaborate, I now want to hear exactly what it is you have in your back pocket that we're going to use.
A vacuum bomb and a thermonuclear warhead.
That about sums it up.
And
it's a king of bad ideas.
And Santiago shoots this like very pointed glance at Woodchipper and says very simply, Woodchipper, you know the broken wheel. You know we don't touch anything with the broken wheel.
Well, you don't have to. I'll do it.
And Santiago shoots a look in your direction, Electo, and simply says, she broke our codes. Because thanks to her, we, and again he refixes his gaze on her, we have been holding a thermonuclear bomb in the back of the camp for the last 3 days. And he makes it very clear he is not happy about this. And so he looks over at you, says, so let's ignore for the moment that I'm starting to get bad 2020 repeat vibes off of this thing. And let's talk about why the fuck I and my crew should help you and yours, Rex, deliver poison to the city, the likes of which hasn't been seen since that awful fucking gambit with Johnny Silverhand.
We won't be hitting the city.
And he looks at you and he says, this thing, it doesn't matter where it goes off. If it's anywhere nearby, and he points at the map in front of him, and he says, this is maybe 10 miles outside the city limits. You think a thermonuclear bomb goes off and that drops dust up into the sky? Think that that's not going to affect the city somehow? Sure, it's not going to make a skeleton out of the center of it like the last one, but
Well, it's either we let this situation burn and get even worse for everyone involved, because now that we've taken that, what makes you think they won't burn the city down with something else to find it? Look, I'm not an advocate for dropping this nuke in the city, but that military base, of course it's a nuclear bomb. It's going to be bad, but it'd be far better to drop it there than in the city again. I may be a rocker boy, and I may have liked the idea of Silverhand, but I'm not that far gone.
And he looks over to Rex and he says, Rex, you can't mean to tell me you've entertained the notion of burning the entire NorCal military base. You know that that is going to do more than just blow Militech sky high. It destabilizes everything. All our routes, all the infrastructure we've gotten back in place since the fall. Do you really want to invite that into our midst? And Rex looks over at all of you and says, I don't know. Personally, I don't appreciate getting shot at by a tsunami helix in my own fucking club. So I don't know. I'll let my crew speak for me on this one. But personally, I think, Santiago, I've been more than gracious to you and yours. And I believe, as the record shows, you owe me. And he says that last part with a pointedness that you don't normally hear from Rex. Normally he's the suave negotiator, and this time he's very much taking the stance of like, no, you were going to do this for me, and I don't take no for an answer.
I like Rex.
Yep.
And so Woodchipper speaks up and she says, Santiago, and he says, no, you don't get to tell me what happens to our people in this. Breaking the broken wheel is not something that our lead mediator should even be close to. The moment you saw that, you knew the right thing was to just leave it lie, leave it out in the wastes, fucking anything, but bring it into the midst now. Now you get to be responsible for what this causes. And Woodchipper looks over at all of you and she says, well, what do we want to be responsible for then? You all helped me get it.
We're burning Militech to the fucking ground.
And she glances over at Persephone and Dr. J, who in all likelihood are probably not vibing with this idea. And she says, and what about you two? I can see it's not exactly hard to tell you're not crazy about the idea.
So we'll look at Santiago and say, well, yeah, you're right. The fallout would cause a lot of damage, not to mention your trade routes, but depending on the weather, if the winds were blowing towards the city, and I'll just sort of leave that off because, he knows if he was around for it.
Well, and he specifically looks at you and says, and this is why I'm glad to see that not everyone that Rex hangs out with is a complete gonk. You understand exactly what I'm saying. It would be catastrophic.
Yes, because leaving Militech undisturbed has not been catastrophic for everybody that's ever lived in the city since they existed.
And he looks at you, Electro, and he says, look, we've gotten by fine. Militech,
yeah, but other people haven't. You have your family. Other people don't have anything because of the corporations. Just because it was better for you to leave them standing doesn't mean that's better for everyone.
What were you going to say, Erica?
So Persephone's kind of going to look up, and she's been really thinking about her conversation with Blackout the night before
Mm-hmm.
And she's just gonna say, I spoke with my friend last night, and a really horrible crime was committed against her by one of the corporations. And she described the feeling of just her body and soul being burned from the inside out. And I can't get the image of hundreds and thousands of people having that same thing happen to them, but slowly over time. Like, I know that I'm not the smartest, but I do know what radiation does. I'm not that stupid most of the time. And I just, I don't think that I can be part of causing anyone that much pain. Like, I know I'm a narcissist and I'm really self-absorbed, and so, like, believe me, this is coming from my own place where I can't live with that guilt of knowing that I hurt a lot of people. And yeah, you're right. Like, the corpse really did and still do hurt us, but like, a lot of people are in the positions that they're in because of the first time that bomb was dropped. And like, would that make us any better, Electo?
I don't care about making me
as
better.
bad as the corpse?
I care about making the world better. And the world is better without Militech.
I don't think this is the way. But I also don't think you're going to listen to me. And then she's just going to
Electo
take
just
it
kind of
from there.
smirks.
So, I'll look at Santiago again. I said, but to piggyback off of what I said, if the winds and the weather did permit, and we were to have rain and opposite blowing winds, that would at least soften the blow. Would it fix it? No. But at the same time, what else are we going to do to get back at this fucking corp that's basically ruined our lives for the last, 3/4 of a year? Ever since, I guess, there was that train incident I heard in the scream sheets. I guess they killed a bunch of your guys.
And Geo stiffens at that comment. And he looks up at you and says, yeah, Little Bluff is still recovering from that one. They would probably be one of the closest settlements to this blast if this goes off. So, all I'm saying is people
going to suffer.
Yep. What was that, Erica?
Sorry. I was just trying to agree with the point that it's not just the corporations that will suffer. It will be the people. It will just be back to square one.
But Geo does say, I agree, burning Militech is the way. But I don't know that I agree that this particular method is the right way.
I don't expect everybody to have the resolve to do what needs to be done to make the world better.
Whew.
And Zeke will piggyback off that and be like, this is a surefire way of burning Militech to the ground. If you have a better way that could guarantee Militech's absolute annihilation, please voice it. And it needs to be a concrete, definite, this will burn Militech down.
And Santiago chimes in, glaring at Geo for his comment of like, I agree they need a burn. Says, look, we take transport contracts from Militech. We take transport contracts from a bunch of corps. So do you want to explain to me how we keep doing what we do, restoring infrastructure, building back towns, fixing the fucked up reality that Silverhand and his crew left us 20 fucking years ago? Do you want to explain to me how burning them down changes any of that, makes any of that better, fixes anything, allows us to do better by the people? Because I don't see a way.
Militech and Arasaka, that you wouldn't have to repair anything. It wouldn't have been destroyed.
You melt that military base, Cress and a new cog show up a week later. Guaranteed. They will come through. They will sweep the city. They will find you. They will burn you. If we are anywhere close to this with a pinky stuck in it, we will get burned too. You don't understand how big this is.
All.
And Santiago looks at Geo and Woodchipper and all of you, with the exception of like Dr. J, but he casts like dirty glances very pointedly at Zeke and Electo and says, look, if you all want to go, commit fucking suicide and commit the rest of us to burn alive for the sins of this crew, fuck it. You do it. I'm fucking out. Fuck you, Rex, for bringing this to my doorstep. And he leaves the trailer. And Woodchipper slides over, takes his spot at the front of the table, and simply says, all right, well, now that the old fogey's out of here, and the rusty old things he represents are out of here, let's talk for real. What do we do?
I'll just look at Woodchipper at this point and I said, I don't think he's so rusty after all. He had a point. There's always going to be a Militech or an Arasaka. It doesn't matter what name they go by. Something's always going to crawl out of the hole that we leave there.
It's called a power vacuum. As soon as you get rid of one thing, another thing will just move in and do something potentially even worse. Like, I agree that this needs to end, but this isn't the way.
I don't know if you do agree that this needs to end, because we have the opportunity to end it, and everybody's scared to do it.
Woodchipper thinks about what you say for a moment, though, Persephone. If you want to respond, go ahead. But I just want to say, like, Woodchipper takes a second, thinks about like what you're saying, and she says, "It just so happens, and this might be a long shot, and it would be one hell of a fucking play if we manage it. But I might suggest we reach out to our brothers and sisters in Thalos Nation, Meta. Talk to the people on MetaKey. They are nomads that have managed to make a corporation out of their family. Now, I understand some of you might not like the idea of a corporation backing war against another corporation. We're basically inviting a new corporate war if we do this. But if we are concerned about a power vacuum, let's at least know who's filling it. We put our weight behind one."
And Zeke chimes in. He's like, that piggybacks off what I was about to say. How would we end Militech's reign without creating a power vacuum is my question. When you bring something down, it doesn't matter how destructive or peaceful it is. When you bring someone out of a position of power suddenly, that always creates a power vacuum, and the greediest people fiend for opportunities like that.
That's why we pick a pawn to enter first. You pick your piece. It's like one of the first things you learn in corporate warfare. And yes, that was an actual class that I was not asleep in.
And then Zeke gestures to Woodchipper, and it looks like now we've found a potential pawn to put in that place.
Yeah, and like, trust me, Kahukura would be chomping at the bit if we don't have something like this in place to come in. And that bastard cannot become the new kingpin. Absolutely fucking not.
Our original plan was to vacuum bomb their headquarters at the same time.
Then we'll be okay with using a nuke if Kahukura took it. But only that.
And so Woodchipper is starting to think a little more like pointedly, and she says, "Geo, I think you're going to hate what I have to say here." And Geo grins at her and simply says, "Sister, I always hate what you have to say. You come up with some of the worst ideas, and they're all very interesting when they get done." And so Woodchipper looks at all of you and she says, "I propose a two-pronged attack. I propose we deal with both facets of the problem at the same time. You're mentioning Arasaka and Kahukura. We know they've been a problem. They've been a thorn in our sides for months now. The whole city knows that they've been thorns in our side for months now. The scream sheets have been talking Kahukura is blessings upon the city because they're helping the NCPD and they're making our neighborhoods safer. They're making the corporations safer. And I think we can all in this room agree that that's bullshit. So, with that said, obviously we need to knock them out of the program here before they can make a play. So, Rex, with your blessing, I say, first and foremost, we send you all, along with a delegation of our brothers and sisters here, to meet with Meta. If we get you in with Meta Nation and they can agree to this plan of attack, they launch all-out warfare on Militech. They give an opening where we can drop a nuke on the base. While, in that same time frame, you all find your way inside of Kahukura, and you set off a vacuum bomb. You level that building, concrete steel falling from the sky. Make sure there's no power to fill a vacuum from within the city. Meta sweeps in, they take Militech's place. Done, dusted. The city gets to live another day, provided that you're right about the weather.
And on top of that, since Meta will be moving in, since they do appear to be allied with you, trade routes wouldn't be compromised. You'd still be in business.
And Woodchipper kind of half winces at that, where she's like, "Well, you might be overselling it just a little bit. I wouldn't call us allies, but
willing to do business at the very least.
We've done business with Meta before. They're nomads of the ocean. They are our brothers and sisters there that made a corporation of themselves, have an independent nation out there floating west off of the coast."
Hey, real quick, Charlie, would Persephone be familiar with this since her family's business is primarily sea protection?
She may. Go ahead and roll me local expert. You're home. Yep. Go ahead and roll me that local expert check.
Yep.
Because you would definitely have a level of familiarity with Meta, probably. I just want to see how deep that familiarity goes.
Local expert.
Mm-hmm.
And then, do I need to source anything for home?
No, that assumes your local expert home.
Okay.
Yep. Not bad. Okay. So with that check, so Meta is by and large, it's like Woodchipper says, they are a Thalas Nation nomad pack that pretty much has they have ties to the sea trade. A lot of I'm sure that a lot of their transports would have brokered deals with Kahukura in the past to essentially try to ensure that their goods got where they were going without issues. Because they're another security firm essentially, but they're security and maritime construction. So
right, direct competition for Kahukura.
Yep. So,
but it could also benefit them to have Kahukura out of the picture.
It would potentially benefit them to at least seize their assets, right? So that you do get the sense that you've maybe found a point of leverage, which is to say, hey, we take them out of the picture. Whatever's left in the ashes, you can pick it over, take it. It's yours.
I mean, that could be very attractive, for sure.
Yep. So that's the kind of thinking you're having right now. Is if you want to go parlay with Metacorp, they are the kind of corporation that has worked with Kahukura in the past. Kahukura is born out of the ashes of the Fourth Corporate War. So it's entirely possible that, like, they would have fought side by side. They would have either been the best of allies or the staunchest of adversaries, because they definitely work in the same area. And just a matter of where the chips fell and who was buying them out at the time.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I don't think she would be that involved, would she, to know which side it went on?
Yeah. But, I mean, things change. The winds change everything. And Metacorp is definitely been around longer than Kahukura. They're an older business. I mean, they're big enough to have a whole flotilla called the Metakey to the west of Night City, basically, out in the ocean.
Okay, so I guess Persephone might chime in and just say something along the lines of, like, I might have an in if we want to talk to the head of Meta. There's a long history with them and Kahukura, and they might be interested in seeing Kahukura burn.
And so Woodchipper thinks about this and she says, okay, I can set up the meet. Metacorp, they'll take my calls most of the time. So I can set something up. It's probably not going to be too soon. So probably take us a little bit of time. Meanwhile, you can stick around the camp here, pitch in, help if you want to. You take your chances back in the city if that suits any of you. I don't know if I'd feel as comfortable there if it were me, but I understand some of you have attachments there that maybe can't go on being ignored. But I'll set something up. I'll let you all know once I have something, but it's probably going to take a couple days at least.
So, Charlie, quick aside.
Yep.
If you think that I forgot that last time around, you promised that we would resolve Persephone's feelings of wanting to jump the tree trunk that is Woodchipper, you are wrong. Those are still things, and I would like them resolved. So Persephone is kind of gonna like wink and be like, "Oh, is there room in your Humvee for two?"
And Woodchipper kind of looks like this is not the energy in the room. She looks over at you and just like, I don't know exactly what you're insinuating in front of all these people. And like Rex even kind of looks over at you like, really? Is now the time?
Like, you know who I am. This isn't new.
And he says, well, let's conclude our meeting. I'm sure you and Woodchipper, and he glances at Woodchipper as he says this, can have conversation later. So we talk with Meta. We get them on board. Then what? We just fly over Militech, drop a thermonuclear bomb on their heads, and everyone flies away, singing Kumbaya to the sound of a pressure wave from the collapsing Kahukura headquarters.
Sorry, you said those words, and they didn't process in my head.
Just on hearing that, Zeke's just, if only.
Oh,
I mean-
that was Rex did that?
Yeah, Rex said that.
I'll just look at him and go, well, boss, let's just see how the meeting goes with Matt, and we'll go from there.
Very well. I just want to be idealistic and ready to make our next move. I'm trying to think 3 ahead. Because I know they are.
It's like, well, I'm going to go ahead and head over to their med bay and see if they can use any assistance.
Yes, and they absolutely can. When you get there, you see a couple of pretty badly wounded nomads that look like they've been in probably something like the gang wars that you probably treated people from in the past. They look very similar to that. And one of the nomad med techs that are there are quickly kind of like directing what little medical staff exists in a camp like this to the various people that they've triaged. And she sees you walk in, she says, okay, so you're here, you must know a thing or two about operation or medical care, at least something.
I'd say it's more, a thing or 10 or 11, but yeah.
Good. Stop her bleeding. And you could see this nomad that's like kind of like gasping for air, and like there is definitely blood oozing out of a chest wound that they are barely able to kind of contain with the gauze and things they're trying to use on her. They put you right to work.
And I roll a 25 for that if I needed to.
Yeah. No, and you immediately get over there and just start like administering analgesics and just start basically getting this person into a state of stability. Just start doing your med tech thing, getting in the zone, and you start working through the thing you do best.
And I'm purely using this to ignore the fact that we just talked about dropping a nuke. So yeah.
Yeah, no, I know that's where your head's at. So yeah, you just start going to work and knowing like this is what I've got to do. The rest of you who are still in the room, Woodchipper looks around and says, "Okay, make the call." Other than Persephone, does anyone have other questions?
I want to take a look at the bomb just to make sure there's no tracking or anything on it. I really don't want them to find it.
And she nods and she says, I can have Geo show you where we're keeping it.
Yeah, and then if you need repairs with anything, I'll help. It's, my thing. I like doing that shit.
And she nods. There's plenty of things that we need repaired or refurbished, so we'll take all the help we can get. And she looks over at Wei and she says, and what about you, big guy? What do you think?
All I know is that they're right about is we need to clear out everybody who's been making our lives hell for the however long now. And the only way to get rid of something as big as Militech is something as big as them. But at the same time, there is also Karakura backed by Arasaka, and I can't let what they did to Yuria slide. So I'd rather be focused on them and the vacuum bomb.
Hey, we get this done right, both stones get thrown. Or I should say, we throw one stone, we get two birds. It's a very, very fruitful proposition for everyone involved. As long as we all end up 10 and 10 out of it and not glowing. That's a win in my book.
I wouldn't mind glowing, particularly. I think that would be kind of cool.
And she...
Actually, I wonder if I could... And then I start taking notes to think about how I could make my... just make glowing shit.
And she says, I would... and she just sees you start going off, like diagrams and everything. And she thinks better of even trying to talk you down from whatever it is you're doing. She says, come back to you later. And she says... So I understand the doctor's gone and seen what he can do. You've offered to fix things. Wei, you've offered your assistance with the plan. I assume we could do worse than to have you maybe train some of our men so they know what they're about to go up against and have at least something resembling experience when it happens.
As long as they'll hold up.
Well, they'll have to, because if they can't hold up against you, well, or at least mostly hold up against you. They have no shot at holding up against Militech's finest.
Oh, we'll see how much energy they have. He's just gonna lean back against the wall and kind of smile to himself.
Yeah. And she says, and you, Rocker Boy, gung-ho to drop a nuke on their heads. What are you doing in the meantime?
Well, I've got a few Chumbas on the inside of Night City. As crazy as I am, with contacts with a lot of the city's craziest metalheads. So if we need more bodies, I can definitely give them a place and time to start stirring some shit. We could have crazy motherfuckers that honestly probably wouldn't even mind dying, at least out there to help us.
And she nods.
And hey, if we survive afterwards, I can put on a damn good show.
She says, I don't think that any band, save maybe Samurai, could match pyrotechnics from a thermonuclear explosion. That is a damn certain fact.
I'd much rather it be a new opening act than a closing act.
Fair enough. I'd like that too. So she looks over all of you. She says, all right, well, I think we've about got the next play here. Electo, go with Geo. He'll show you where we're keeping the device and then what needs worked on around the camp. And Persephone, she looks at you and she says, now, we need to talk. And she says that in a pointed way that you don't really appreciate 100%, because she's definitely not insinuating it in a way that sounds fun and sexy. So, boo. Yeah, and so
Never let me have any fun, Charlie.
Huh?
Oh my god. You never let me have any fun.
I never let you have any fun. Really now?
You
Really?
never have any fun. You don't understand me.
Yeah.
Anyway.
On a side note, Zeke, you said that you had metal heads, and I never realized that has quite the double meaning here in this campaign, in this setting.
Yep.
Yep, sure does.
Metalhead's crazy enough to go charging towards Militech with nothing but a pistol and a leather jacket.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, we're talking like 80s metalheads. They'll take you down.
Yeah, a bunch of 40-year-olds running around with handguns. Actually, it's probably like 50 or 60-year-olds at that point.
I was thinking the headbangers from Brutal Legend.
I love that. That's so funny. So, Persephone, as you might imagine, Woodchipper takes you outside and says, look, I'm not really into, chicks. It's not really my thing. Oh, you're glitching out again, Erica.
Oh, well, I went into the closet.
Yep. There we go.
As Maya pointed out earlier, it doesn't like me going back into the closet.
Yep. No, it doesn't.
Yes, like, I'm out. I'm proud. I'm a cryptid. What? Yeah. Anyway, so what was I going to say? Oh, I mean, like, I could get a Mr. Stud.
And she says, while I appreciate the gesture, really, trust me, if we're going to be working together on something like this, let's chill it till just at least after, and then we can maybe bring it up again. But if I'm risking life and limb with my crew, I need my head in the game right now, and I focus better when I've got, well, tasks to do. Not
I mean,
people.
like, I'm not some kind of creep who doesn't understand what the word no means, but that wasn't a no. And she's kind of going to look at her like, wink? She's like, but I'll cool it.
Yeah.
Till later.
And Woodchipper gives you a slight grin and just says, thank you.
Like, I'm not going to...
Well,
Like,
you're going
my
back
memory.
in.
Oh.
Were you going back into the closet again, Erica?
Yes. I'll go to the computer. Stop looking in the closet. I'm sorry. Just trying to put my socks away.
Yeah, because what were you saying?
It's a good thing we're multitask so I can pay attention.
No, I understand, but yeah, we can't hear you when you do that.
I know.
I'm literally cleaning my mouse right now.
It's like, does the phone want me to confess to this stream that I'm asexual and I'm not in the closet? Because I'm not. Anyway. Jesus Christ. Anyway, so here we are. Yeah, but Persephone does want to really stress that she would be willing to work with the efforts to bring down Kahukora.
Okay. And she looks at you and says, absolutely. No, I know you've got personal beef with them. That's definitely not for me to get in the way of. So you were already on that team. I knew it from the second you started talking.
I would really, really like to watch Emmanuel burn. I mean, not just a little bit. Oh my gosh, have you seen those card fires where they're just so beautiful to watch and then they slowly smolder and then they just kind of explode and pop a little bit? That's the kind of burning I want him to do.
And
nice and slow and slightly sulfur.
And she
just
gives you a look and she says, you realize you're talking to a nomad where we, kind of demolition derbies are our thing.
Look, I know that I said I wouldn't bring it up until later, and I'm not, but I'm just telling you, I got your vibe. I to you.
And she laughs and she kind of nods and says, all right, well, I'm going to go give my contacts at Metacorp a call. Let's see if we can get this whole show on the road. And with that, she walks away, pulls out her agent and starts, doing what she said she was going to do, starting to make calls. So, not that I think any of you are hurt at the moment, but we get a couple days here of downtime. I know it's weird. We're 3 hours into the session, and now we get our downtime. So we get.
I didn't see the nuke.
Oh, you didn't see the nuke. So I apologize. I didn't realize that you wanted to go in detail about some of that. So
I literally just want to do an electronic security tech check to make sure that there's not
yeah. So
something.
Geo does take you back to one of the kind of the more semi-permanent tents that they erect as sort of warehouses around the camp. And he takes you to one where, sure enough, all the Militech crates that you guys left with Woodchipper have been left and located. So you can go ahead and roll me that electronic security tech check.
And I'm looking for anything that would that could be a tracker, a bug, anything like that.
Sure. Okay.
That's not great.
Wow, that's awful. Jeez. Oh my god. You only rolled a 21. What the fuck? That's so low.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It beats most professional checks. Oh my god. On a 2. So with that 21, you analyze the bomb and the case it came in. And in checking what you can safely, you can't find any tracking bugs. And you would assume that if they came immediately for you guys, that they would have probably done the same for the nomads out here if they knew where they were. If they knew where the crates had gotten sent to.
That's what I thought.
Yep.
But you know, when you're dealing with a stolen Militech nuke, better safe than sorry.
Right. Exactly. So, with that said, we now go into our 3-day downtime. So I know that's not a lot of time for anyone to do a lot of stuff, but what would everyone like to do? I remind everyone at this point that if you haven't spent IP yet, for the session, now would be a time where you may spend your IP, even if we are mid-session. I will allow you to level things up right now.
I am contractually obliged to keep working on my invention until I hit 2 weeks and realize it doesn't work.
All of your goods are back at your apartment, so I don't know how you'd be working on your invention out here.
Well, inventing is just the schematics, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, I guess that's true.
Like, I couldn't do any fabrication, but I'm still on the
yeah, I see what you're saying.
Thinking phase.
You're going down that path. Yep. So you're burning your 3 days working on.
So I've got 2 days left of working on it, or 4. I forget. Is it a 5-day week or 7?
7. So you've 4 days left.
4 days left. Okay.
Yep. So you do that. Wei, let's go to you next. Where you spend your 3 days of downtime on?
I would like a short description of me training the people, along with somewhere fitting in where I'm forcing them to run a bunch and running alongside them to justify bumping my athletics from 7 to 8.
Totally, yeah, no. Unsurprisingly, there are like no nomads in this camp that can really like come toe to toe with you. Like usually, even with you half like pulling the punches to make it so you don't take their head off with your, cybernetically enhanced muscle and stuff like that. They take maybe 2 hits at best before just going down and not coming back up. Like they go unconscious for minutes at a time, just trying. And it doesn't take too long before they just kind of don't try to like come straight on to you there. So it turns into almost this where you start, trying to train them athletically by running and trying to set pace. And again, you are just blowing them out of the fucking water. There's like no competition there whatsoever. But it starts turning into a case where like around the camp, and it's not malicious, but every so often one of them, you'll hear them trying to creep up behind you or something like that. And 1 or 2 of them get a couple good shots on you over the course of the next couple days before they're promptly thrown in the dirt and they remember why that's a bad idea. But over the course of the couple days, you do see notable improvement in a couple of them that do take the training seriously. And so these people you're feeling at least, the ones who really were dedicated to it, are more prepared than you maybe thought was possible in that short period of time you got to spend with all of them.
That's awesome. I imagine the image of like one of the weaker ones trying to get one of the first sneaky shots, but he's actually so weak that he can only throw 2d6 on melee, so it's not even enough with the half ablation to get through 12 armor, and just demon weight turns on him.
Yeah, exactly, and just
it's like one of those scenes in a show where it's like they hit someone and there's just the slow metal creaking noise as Wei turns around to look at them.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm just picturing like the fucking like pneumatics in the arm just like just throw them up, just back in the dirt, just down.
And could I add a specificity for only the ones that showed promise?
Sure.
And try and form them for a level of martial arts so that they can have 1 level of taekwondo. Like, they don't really, like, they might get the idea, but yeah. I'm basically just showing them this is what the pressure point strike is. This is how you build your momentum to try and go for the flying kick.
Right.
Like, give them the idea of how to attempt those.
I would definitely accept that. No, absolutely. And yeah, these few promising students of yours do get at least start getting the basics down.
And I just want to note, I just looked down at chat and saw it and I was like, see, mine's crossing there. We're starting the nomad school. Now I just need to go murder all the old barracudas so I can get jackets for a uniform.
Dude, Way owning a dojo at the end of all of this would be an
Yes.
excellent
I would
It
100%
would
be,
be
on
so
board with
perfect.
that idea.
That is actually a great headcanon, and I want to see it realized so bad now. Oh my
If
god.
only we don't get vaporized.
Yeah.
Let us all.
That is the big if. Yeah.
That is the sole requirement for this future.
Yep.
I was gonna ask Charlie just to double check how many IP is it per level to raise a skill?
For regular skills, it's 20 times the level you're buying. For X2s, it's double whatever that would normally be.
Cool. And then the max is what for level?
10.
10. Okay. And I can only level up one skill, one level, or I can level up multiple skills, but only one level per session, correct?
Correct. Yeah. So every skill you raise a level can only go up by a maximum of 1, but you can raise as many skills as you have IP for.
So 20 times 9. All right.
180.
Oh, baby. Yeah.
What are you raising to level 9?
One moment. I need to do a quick subtraction. I'm raising archery to level 9.
Oh my
Nice.
god. Okay.
If I'm going to be in the squad that goes after Kahakura, I am not missing shots.
Fair. Yeah, no, that's sick. I'm a big fan.
Speaking of missing shots, I just realized I had over 200 IP. I could have maxed evasion. Oopsie poopsie. Athletics will be good too. We like explosives around here.
It's okay, yeah. Explosives are important, especially for Wei, who doesn't have much ranged capability. Those explosives might be extremely helpful.
Well, no. It's more about running into melee range to punch something and then ending up in a grenades range and needing to be able to just like flash step out of that shit.
It's true.
Speaking of raising evasion, I will also do that.
I
to
mean,
level
Wei. So, Ghost, if you did want to raise Wei's evasion instead of his athletics, I would let you do the takesy backsy because you could justify that in much the same way. Because you'd be training evasion while fighting these guys in the same manner as like running with them for athletics.
And their
So-
sneak attacks would also be a good reason for why you'd have training and evasion.
That's true. The accidental lore.
I'll
take that.
Yeah, I will give you that take back if you want it. Yeah.
I will go from there to 7, that to 10, and we officially have a character in our party with a maxed skill.
We maxed a skill. We did it. That's an achievement. Holy shit, we did it.
or hopefully by the end of the next 2 sessions, I'll max archery.
Yeah. I mean, we're coming down to the wire, guys. I'm not gonna lie. Like we're getting really close.
I just want to make my invention before
know.
it's over,
I know.
which is why I'm saving all of my IP
Look,
to
I
go
just
by
want to
invention and
point out,
fabrication.
like, here's the goals here. We got to meet our goals, Charlie. You got to give us time to do that.
If you don't
I want to commit
vaporize.
fancy side. She wants to finish her invention and whatever.
Do
have
not
to avoid
tempt
becoming bomb
hands of
shadows
fate.
first.
Yep. This is gonna get really spicy. So at this point, 3 days pass.
Wait.
Wait.
Wait, I didn't get mine.
No, you didn't, and you're gonna like it. Yeah, no, go ahead, Zeke. What do you want to do?
So my 3 days, I'm going to spend leveling up my handgun to level 9.
Oh, so you're just gonna practice with the nomads at whatever shooting range they got set up? Hell yeah.
Yep. So that is 180.
Yep.
Subtract.
That. All right. And Dr. J, what are you doing? Because I realized I didn't get the whole left side there. Because I went off the rails with Wei being a dojo master.
No, you're good. I'll probably spend time with Zeke trying to hone down my new gun just to get that skill up.
Sure.
And then you'd be surprised to see Dr. J slightly keeping up with Wei, just trying to keep up with him to see if he could.
Yeah.
It's just to work on just overall speed.
Yeah.
For evasion.
Fair. The one thing you do notice as well, Dr. J, is while you're practicing your new gun at the practice range, you notice several of the nomads that you're there at the same time with are looking over enviously at your gun and just like very jealous of this beautiful monstrosity combo weapon that you have. It's basically a nomad's best friend. And so they're just looking at this and they're like, like one of them even comes up to you as you're kind of like packing it up for the day and says, so Chum, where'd you find that fine little specimen? And points down at the gun.
This thing? Night market right before we got ambushed by Militech in the city.
Damn, that's really fucking shame, because God, I was hoping it was something a little more, I don't know, accessible. Fuck, I want one.
Well, no, so this person in particular, I'm going to go, well, here's my agent info. If I don't make it out of Karakura Tower alive, and somehow this weapon does, it's yours.
He says, shit, Chum. I mean, that's dark as fuck, but yeah, I'll take you up on that.
I mean, I don't plan on dying, but there's always the chance.
Yeah, I guess there is, but all right. I mean, thanks, but also I hope you make it.
I hope I make it too.
And finally, the 3 days for Persephone look like what?
Well, first of all, she's going to work on getting better with her heavy weapon.
Okay.
Or very heavy weapon, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Her double destructive weapons, if you will.
Yeah, she didn't gonna do that. That should be it. That's 3. I don't know why that's where it was.
Yeah, because it's heavy weapons are an X2, I believe. So
I already just subtracted the IP. If you want to make sure that I did the math right.
This time for the actual get better with boom boobs, because you were raising it from level to level 3.
Yeah. So
you were taking it to level 3.
Yes, I think what I did was I may have multiplied 40 by 3.
No, that's correct. That works.
Okay.
The math checks out fine for it. I just want to make sure I was evaluating it.
It wasn't just, hey, check out my funny thing.
No, this was an actual calculation. No, you did the right thing. I will make sure that this level actually goes up correctly then, because it, for whatever reason, is still level 2 on my side.
Okay, yeah, I just raised it on my side. It's been weird because I raised it earlier and it back down, so.
I think I did it. I'm going to double check that it's stuck. Yeah, it's stuck. Okay, we're good now.
Yeah. No, it wasn't just, oh, look at this funny comment. It was more, hey, make sure that I actually did this correct.
And you did. Yeah, you're chilling. Yeah, I know that the X2 ones get a little funky. Because yeah, it's effectively, it's like if you did 40 times whatever you were buying, that is what it checks out to. But yeah, it's weird. But yeah, so the three days for you are comprised of essentially practicing with whatever kind of heavy weaponry you can.
She's just walking around camp and like just posing with her boobs out, and then like that's what I'm imagining. It's just like freaking people out by strutting and just posing with her chest out.
Yeah, it's fair. So yeah, so with that out of the way, we come to the end of our 3rd day, and Woodchipper calls a meeting for all of you to meet back in the command center. And she scrolls the map over toward the Pacific and zooms it out to a scale where kind of each little square on the grid represents about 20 miles worth of distance. And between Night City and Medikey, there's a solid like 10 or 15 squares. It's kind of hard to judge it sometimes with the flickering and the fading, but you know that it's like it's a decent distance away. And she says, okay, so I've talked with Rex, and between him, his resources, and the resources of the family, I think we've got enough AVs that can do that trip and refuel on the other end to get you all there with a crew of another 3 nomads that we're sending to ensure this goes well. I, of course, will be among them. But that is what we've arranged. The AVs are scheduled to leave tomorrow. So they'll be ready to head out. We negotiate. And hopefully we get what we want.
Well, time to be on our best behavior for whatever much that's worth.
Yeah, exactly. Like I said, sometimes they don't take my calls. Kind of glad this wasn't one of those times. So, does anyone have any last minute questions? Anything we need to discuss before we fly over to Medikey?
Is there anything we shouldn't mention? Just, avoid pissing them off.
I would say try to keep Kahukura and Arasaka out of it if we can.
Gotcha.
Let's try to leverage them as, or at the very least, leave Arasaka out of it. I don't know how plugged they are into Night City. We want to leverage them with the possibility that 2 security firms drop off the map and they're the one left standing in the vacuum that they leave behind. And they get whatever assets we can find digging through the ashes. We can leverage that. I'm not going to say not to, but tread lightly, because if Arasaka gets brought up, I don't know what their reaction is going to be. They might be all gung-ho for it, but...
And the reaction to hearing Militech being one of the firms we plan on taking down, or should we just not mention the names at all?
They're going to need to know a little bit of what we're trying to do, especially since the thing we want them for is attacking Militech. So there's no way to keep their name out of it. The reason I say to keep Arasaka out of it, though, is, well, some things about that 4th corporate war, they don't go down so well. And, well, let's just say they've had a hell of a time dealing with the GPS-guided mines that are still swimming through the Pacific Ocean.
All right. So just don't mention Arasaka then.
We don't need to mention their part of it. The fact that they're going to be ousted from the city is a happy byproduct. And it's a little accident as far as they're concerned.
An unintentional, happy little accident.
Exactly. Somehow the Arasakas leave Night City once and for all. And it's a good time for everyone on the ground.
Good to know.
Yep. That's where we stand. So, any other questions?
What did Rex ever end up doing with that submarine?
I mean, as far as I'm aware, he sold it off to Thalos Nation once it was completely stripped.
Damn, that would have come in handy.
I wouldn't want to travel by sub if I could help it. I'm just saying, those Arasaka mines that I mentioned, those are no joke. They will destroy the fuck out of you. That's why we're flying by AV. Anything else? If not...
I've got nothing.
All right. Well then, you all sleep well. We'll see you bright and early in the morning, where we head off to the Pacific and hopefully come back with promises of some very powerful allies. And with that, she dismisses all of you.
Is Rex still here?
Yeah, Rex is still part of things. Absolutely. He's been hiding out here with the rest of you.
Persephone would like to have a quick word with him, if possible, alone.
Sure. Yeah, so as everyone's kind of emptying out, yeah, you flag him down and he walks out with you in whatever direction you're kind of heading to have that, somewhat privacy.
I just wanted to check in and see if there's been any progress on getting, Blackout out of whatever void she's in. I had a conversation with her the other night, and I think she might be going a little bit bonkers.
And he looks at you and he says, well, I mean, no one's ever tried something like this before. Restoring a soul-killed AI is, it'd be a miracle, to put it mildly. So I've been working on whatever methods we might have, but truthfully, the best we would be able to do for her is maybe to allow her some semblance of control over a mobile NetArch controlled drone, but she'd need a charge. She'd need to have all these restrictions on her. So it's, for right now, for me, it's one of those things that I'm ill-equipped and in a poor position to really do those things. Faisal was made aware. I did tell him that these were the specifications. And last he told me he was still researching it. But it's something on the scale of months. It's literally never been done before.
Well, we're very good at doing things that have never been done before. Doing some things that have been done before that are a really fucking bad idea, but you get the gist.
And he looks and grins and he says, and that's why I pay you the big eddies.
Just please promise me that you'll try. Please don't leave her there.
Oh, of course, no. Faisal's already, as far as I'm aware, hard at work on the project. I started him on it weeks ago. I just want to be realistic with you that we're talking a timeline that could take months because we are attempting something completely new.
This whole thing is really big, and I may not come back. A lot of us might not, and I just want to make sure that she's not forgotten. Not again, like she was in the alley. Everyone just left her there.
And
that can't happen again.
He looks kind of shamefully at that because he's aware that was his ask. He put her in that position to begin with. He says, I promise she won't be left in a position like that ever again, as long as I have my way.
Good. You better not ever lose it then. And then she's gonna walk off.
Yep. And you all find your respective kind of lodgings around the camp. Before that, there's obviously it's about midday when Woodchipper called that meeting. So that night there's the closest thing that probably passes for a celebration within a nomad community when it's not like a holiday or something. But that night, Woodchipper and Geo make sure that the nomads pretty much go all out. They roll out kegs of, some of their good beer. They open up the bar truck to deal drinks to edge runners and nomads alike. And they've got a couple giant cook pots that you see them throwing all kinds of different things into. And the smell out of these things is heavenly. It is glorious. And when everything's finally ready, you all hear the clanging of what can only be described as a dinner bell, as a chef who has an audio vox installed amplifies their voice quite loudly and says, "Chili's ready, camp! Come on, get some!" And you all see this line of nomads heading to this row of cook pots where they're just doled out this beautiful, chunky chili that looks like the genuine article and not some like shitty reproduction you'd get in the city. And so,
say less.
Yeah. And so you all, as you get your turn with like these paper bowls they've rolled out for you all, you all sit down, and as you begin to tear into that chili, it is, without exaggeration, probably the best thing your taste buds have ever tasted, because nothing in here, except for maybe the protein, is the least bit synthetic. And even some of the protein is probably real. One of the nomads, as they kind of see you all kind of eating this, those of you who are like blissing out over this, one of them even brags to you, "Yeah, I shot down a fucking pigeon last week. Think that they froze it up and, well, damn, sometimes it just tastes real good to have real meat again."
Dr. J sort of thinks of the fact that all of the diseases that pigeon probably was carrying, but doesn't really care at this point in time.
Yeah, it still tastes really fucking good. So you all eat, have the opportunity to eat and drink your fill. The night continues with this almost elated air of celebration, of hope. And as you all find your way to your beds at the end of the night, you all find yourselves contented in a way that you haven't been for a while. And so even if you still harbor reservations or anxieties about the plan that you're setting in motion on the morrow, you all feel this sense of belonging that you haven't had for quite some time in Night City. So, on that note, I'm going to briefly pause. I'm going to ask a question of you all. So, I understand this gig was, this session was pretty non-standard, very roleplay heavy, not a lot of skill checks. Even if it opened hot, it is definitely pressed on more on the social aspects of the game than it has on the mechanical ones. So I'm gonna ask this right now, not because I feel like that's not appropriate, but because I know we haven't really had a proper gig upon which I can, allocate reward or things of that nature. So we can proceed to the negotiations at MetaKey this week if we would like. Erica, I know you will not be able to make it next week. So if we do want to push into that, being that we're about 10 minutes before our 4-hour mark at this point, we can do that. And I'm happy to do that. And we can do that. It will likely take a little bit if we do that this week. If we choose not to do that this week, then I propose that next week, if we want to play something, we can, but it will probably not be Neon Inferno if we do not do the meta negotiations this week.
What you're telling me is that next week we run ELO.
We could run ELO. I'm not opposed for everyone who wants to play next week. We run, the Inferno plays Elflines Online. I would not be against that.
That would be
Just a
hilarious.
goofy little side branch.
I would not be opposed to that. While Erica
Yeah.
goes and cavorts in the frozen north, we can all chill down here and play some ELO.
Yeah, you guys can play ELO while I go hike a volcano. That sounds fun.
And photograph puffins. Yes, I know.
Photograph puffin, go hang gliding, and go
Okay.
horseback.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's not even diss on photographing puffins, all right?
No, I'm not dissing on it. I'm just I'm jealous. This is jealousy.
You don't understand. I'm currently having a packing crisis because I've decided I have to bring my 600mm lens and my DSLR and all of this stuff, and I have to figure out how to fit all of that in a carry-on, and I'm having struggles
Fair.
because of puffins. I cannot miss out on specifically the Atlantic puffins. I've already got some gorgeous pictures of tufted puffins. Now we have to get the Atlantic one. Okay, my bird rant is done.
No,
We're back to the game.
You're good. So I leave it up to the group here as a vote. I know chat, you probably have some opinions. I already see my wife chiming in that she wants elf lines.
We
So
also need to prep you for Gen Con.
we do, because I'll be fun fact, everyone. I will be playing at James Hutt's Elf Lines table in Gen Con in August. So
Ooh,
yeah,
Oh, I didn't know that.
that sounds very big, but I know nothing about this realm.
So yeah, I mean, James Hutt is the lead balance guy for the entirety of Cyberpunk Red. He's like the lead systems guy. He is known as the mayor of Balance Town. So when we all like go nuts in our little side conversations off stream about, man, I fucking love how balanced Cyberpunk Red is, James Hutt is the reason. He's the guy. And so his baby, the reason we have ELO at all is because of him. He was the one who pushed for that, I have recently learned. So the fact that I'm at his table for this is like actually fucking huge. It's a massive honor in a way, because I love that in concept, and I just have never had a chance to play or run it at the table.
Let's do it then.
Yeah, so we are okay to put the meta key on till 2 weeks from now, and we will run ELO next week. That is what we're doing.
I'm down.
Yes.
I'm down to put off the meet for 2 weeks out from now.
Bet. Okay. Because I will also then flag the following as a statement of not fact, but of probability. If we are carrying down this road, because these last 2 sessions largely determine the path we get on to the end. We are looking at probably 2 sessions, 3 at most left of Neon Inferno at this point. We are coming down to the very end.
We approach, as they say, at the razor's edge.
Dare I say, without flagging you for content match, it's the end of the world as we know it.
As we know it. Yep.
God is about to revoke our rights to exist.
We're coming to the end of Neon Inferno, season 1 at least. Because
I've
I
never finished a campaign before.
Yep. And now
The only time I finished a campaign was when I was GMing.
Yeah, right.
What?
What was that, Cody?
No, I'm saying he said the only time he's ever finished a campaign is when he was GM. He's like, yeah. I'm like, yeah, it's over. Goodbye. Leave.
Yeah, it's cool.
It's over. It's over. I'm tired of watching you guys fumble about and ruin my perfect creation.
Oh, no. This creation has been made all the more perfect for all of your involvement in it. This has been a wild fucking ride, and I truly, and I will say this again when we finally do get to the end, but I truly really want to commend all of you for how excellent this has been to this point. I really truly, as this is like my first real push into like creating stuff online and making something that like truly I am proud of, I could not have asked for better people to create that with. So thank you all for trusting in me and joining me on this in a very public way, because for me it's like it's meant the world. And I want you all to know that. I really sincerely mean that.
So we have 3 weeks to initiate plan. Make Charlie cry on stream.
Hey.
Yes, that is exactly what
I have many ideas.
Make me cry on stream. Bet. No, and I am not.
Do you want happy tears or sad tears? Because I'm fine with either. I can make spells out of both.
Oh, I am able to see both coming to fruition near the end here. I mean, three episodes is it's a lot of time, as we've come to learn in the game. But looking back at our episode count, with this being the end of episode 19, shit, man, 3 episodes also ain't that much. But yeah, I think with that, let's talk through wrapping this session before we kind of dive any further into the sensitive side of this, because I definitely want to keep talking through it, but I want to make sure we close this one off before we go too deep. So first and foremost, I will award IP based this time upon I guess the general like sense of purpose that everyone kind of brought into the session this week. I will award everyone 70 IP because I appreciate very much the amount of role playing you all did. I appreciate the fact that things went pretty well for you guys in the parts where you were challenged. And yeah, as always, you all contributed something to the table. Bonus IP likewise. I will be pretty much awarding just 20 IP across the board for everyone. Just because there's not a whole lot of bonus objectives for me to base it on, but I want to give something. So I think
May
20.
Make a slight suggestion.
Go for it.
I would suggest 30 for Zeke for getting the fucking police off our ass and saving us a possible party wipe or
bet. I will take that. Yeah, Zeke, you get 30. I will take that. Yep. Your negotiations have been noted, and I will give Zeke that extra 10. Absolutely.
Can I have 30 so that way my IP will be at 420 instead of 410?
It is actually the best reason I ever heard. I second that motion.
For the memes.
I will
Please
even
give us the
I'm going to
funny
show
number.
you. I'm going to provide receipts.
You don't even need to provide receipts. I can pull your sheet up whenever I want. I can literally pull it up on stream, and we can see it. It is indeed 410.
410.
Do we do it for the memes, or do we stick to our guns?
Okay, but if we're going with this logic, can I have an extra 10 because 420 is my birthday?
It is your birthday, Jesus.
You don't have to give me 10 for 420. I just wanted to make the joke.
You know what?
Included.
I don't, because I don't want to like exclude people by saying like, no, you don't get it.
I'll donate 10 of mine to Electo.
No. Because there's another reason I can think to give Electo the extra 10, and that is how passionately you have argued every NPC on dropping this bomb.
Yeah, the amount of RP that's gone into insisting this bomb gets dropped. Like,
Prepper Jack at the risk of a DMCA at the end here. I was gonna award my points, but then I got
Alexa truly believes that the only way forward is to destroy everything and start over.
Yeah. No,
well, not destroying it obviously isn't working out very well for anybody.
I mean, but it worked for the planet before.
But
True.
In response to your request for more IP, Maya, I believe it's green over here. You'll get that 10 extra IP. We'll take that.
Thank you. You should look at how I notated it in my ledger.
Oh boy.
I'm
gonna turn the purple back on, but yeah, let me take a look at this. Where is your ledger? Here it is. Passionately arguing in favor of war crimes. Yeah, that's a W. We'll take that.
Dubs.
Section of your YouTube thing where it's just you, quote unquote, checking our math, and it's just all the weird comments we leave.
See, this is the thing. When Neon Inferno finally does end, I'll have all the time I need to go through and just draw all of those things and edit them into supercuts and stuff. So, like,
I will tell you that the ones that I draw your attention to are not all of the ones that I've been leaving.
I am aware. We'll
have a
go through-
supercut that's just dumb shit, and it's all our sidebars on completely unrelated things.
What I'm gonna do probably is when Neon Inferno finally ends, I am gonna go through, scroll everyone's ledger, and we're gonna see all the stupidest shit we can find. We'll have a good post game chat when that happens.
Damn it!
A filler accounting episode where you wanted us all.
Spoiler alert: I'm not very fun, so mine is probably not interesting at all.
It's okay.
Yeah, my ledger is just serious shit.
I think some of it though is gonna still be cool to go over, even if it's not goofy, right? Because some of that is like from shit that actually happened, right?
Wait a minute. I'm looking through my ledger now. What the fuck is this? Hope this makes up for nearly dying. Smile, Game Master.
Yeah, the main reason that I can leave like weird comments is specifically because in the event I leave something off my sheet, I'll be like, I know I did this. I left a comment about it, and it was something to do with like Madonna boobs.
Yep. No, those ledgers, the ledgers in Foundry are actually fucking based. They're so good.
They're so helpful.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But so to wrap this session, so let's go through our usual. So like I say, you all find your beds, contented with the chili and drinks that you have had with the nomads, the little bit of celebration and cavorting you get at the end of what is really a pretty stressful week. And let's go through each of you and find where are you thinking and feeling as we approach this negotiation tomorrow with Meta. We'll start with Persephone.
I mean, she's kind of nervous. She's not quite sure what's going to happen. She's hoping that this meeting with Meta goes well, that they can be on the same page. And honestly, like, she's not really she's also really nervous about Blackout and what might happen to her, especially if she doesn't come back. Mm-hmm. She's very concerned that people will forget about Blackout.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, the worst thing that she can think of is that Blackout's just stuck in this digital void forever and no one remembers that she's there. And then she's going to kind of lull herself to sleep with the happy images of her father burning to death and screaming for help.
Hell yeah. I like it.
Happy
Based, yeah, exactly, Maya. I agree 100%. Let's go next. Dr. J.
I like to think of it like this, sort of, like on movies where the camera will pan towards the door of the room where the person is. Well, the door opens up and Dr. J is not in his fucking room. He's actually just sort of out among the nomad camp, just staring at the sky because he doesn't get to look at the, relatively clear sky very often.
Yep.
And he's just sort of just walking around, sort of taking in what's out here in the, I would say, I don't know what the weather is today, actually, now that I mention it.
It has cleared to be somewhat visible skies, so yeah.
Yeah, no, he's out there sort of just chilling because he's got a stomach full of fucking chili and beans, and his stomach doesn't know what to do with it, so it's sort of just going nuts at this point.
Yeah, fair.
So he's
Chili and beans.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what my stomach is singing right now.
Sorry, that was my brain, and I was trying to be quiet.
No, you're good.
You're good. But yeah, no, he knows that this is not going to last, though, this feeling, because he just thinks back to earlier in the day with him downrange firing his new gun, and it sort of flashes to the recent, battles he's had, and it's sort of like, well, more of this is to come, and it's going to be even worse. But I'm going to head back to the room and flop on the bed.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Zeke, as you find your bed, what are you feeling and thinking?
So, for the first time in a long while, he's just gonna go straight to laying in the bed without messaging his bandmates, no long talks, no more eddies to send anywhere. Just hoping that this crazy plan with this crazy crew he's found himself working with turns into a legendary opening act rather than a closing one.
Mm-hmm. And so on
Just
that,
drifting off to sleep from there.
Yep. No, that's makes sense. I definitely respect that. Way
is kind of roaming around in the dying festivities for a while. You know, the low light bonfires with the people with the last of their drinks, just kind of flashing back to his time with the Barracudas and the siege camps that they would set up before you go in to raid some massive structure. Or you're going to take over some massive boat. I'd assume they'd have similar little setups where everybody preps the night before and has that big might be your last meal type feast.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just kind of soaking it all in, roaming around, feeling like he's back at home and not really angry about it, but kind of laughing at himself at the fact that he was so excited to go to the big city and come up in this world, and all it did was circle right back to home.
Yep. You're just with a bunch of land nomads instead of your sea pack, but it's all the same. And it feels good.
Yep, he'd probably end up passing out as one of the fires goes out and one of the chairs are in the dirt set up next to it instead of actually making it back to his room.
Just chilling in the chair. Yeah, maybe he finally crawls in when he wakes up and it's a little chilly without the fire there. But beyond that, yeah, he definitely, I could see exactly where he's coming from and all of that. So it's really cool. And last but certainly not least, Electo.
Good question. I think she's sort of reveling in this feeling of belonging that she has, even if it's only temporary. But a sort of grim excitement at knowing that what she's doing will help make it so that more people in the future can feel how she feels right now, and they don't ever have to stop feeling that way like she will.
Hell yeah. That makes sense.
A little sliver of hope and her otherwise unceasing anger.
Yep. And so, with that last comment made, we come to the end of episode 19 of Neon Inferno Blowback. So thank you all for joining us. Those of you on YouTube, I hope you've had a wonderful time with us this evening. And hope you all have a wonderful morning, evening, or afternoon, and wherever you are in the world. I hope you stay healthy, stay safe. And we will see you probably not next week, actually, this week, because we are going to be playing ELO. But I'll probably put that up instead so you all have something to watch. For those of you on Twitch, I will be back with whomever is electing to stay in order to have a little chat with you all. And so don't go away. We will be right back. Thank you, everyone.